Okay, and we should be ready to roll. Had some technical difficulties this morning, which is why we had a bit of a later start than usual, but hopefully it's all set and ready to go. Okay, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Today, as usual, let me know if there's any audio issues or anything that I need to sort out, and I'll be happy to raise and lower the volume as needed. We should be ready to go today. We're going to be doing Mario Kart 8 races, which I believe is quite a ways back, because I haven't played it in... Oh, I don't even have the cartridge inserted. That's a sign of being prepared. I don't even have the cartridge for Mario Kart 8 inserted. The last time I had a cartridge inserted was for the Personified Strikers Let's Play. So yeah, I have not... My time has been spent playing any Mario Kart that I've played recently has been the older ones for the sake of the Mario Kart arc. Which, by the way, as of yesterday, I just finished I finished recording the Nitro Cups for Mario Kart 7, so, you know, progress is being made on that front, I suppose.
Here we go.
And I guess all I have to say is that I don't understand how the cups that the courses that got brought back into this game were the ones that were, because, man, there are a lot of incredible tracks in Mario Kart 7 that, they chose not to bring back, and they instead settled for Music Park and Piranha Plant Slide. And DK Jungle, I guess, but those are the two ones that are the biggest question mark. Anyway, yeah, so we're just going to create a room that you all are able to join as you so please. I think I'm just going to use the same thing I always use. Not going to put much effort into varying it up. You all are welcome to join the room as you so please. How do you get a different character on the title? You have to 100% the game. I think it's triple star ranking all the cups, like 50cc, 100cc, 150cc mirror mode, and 200cc. I'm not sure if you have to also get like the three golden carts, or sorry, the golden cart, golden wheel, and golden glider. But I know that you definitely have to at least triple star rank all the main cups. Friend code? Oh, right, sorry. For anyone who's new joining today that has not previously been a part of the series, you'll be able to join with my friend code right here. So you can add this for anyone new to the streams that has not previously joined one of these lobbies. You can add me with a friend code right here, and I can add you to my friends list and get you in. Feeling better? Well, I guess, to put it like, I wouldn't say I'm feeling great right now, just because a lot of things have happened this week that have set me in an undesirable mood, for lack of a better term. But in regards to what happened earlier this morning, you know, passage of time what makes things sting less. But also, it's just, I'm not going to let it bother me, because it's just people on Reddit being stupid, and the things they say are demonstrably untrue. So, you know, I'm just going to let it roll off my back, I suppose. And that's all I have to say on that note. And for anyone who's curious as to what exactly I'm referring to when I say that, I recommend you go check out what happened in my Discord server in the general text chat this morning, and you'll be able to see for yourself pretty quickly what went down. But it involves Toy Story 4, as it usually does, and some Reddit posts, which made me want to explode. So there's that. What happened? I just recommend you go check out like I said, check out the Discord channel, the general Discord channel in my server, and you'll see for yourself. It involves some Reddit posts that were frustrating, and it's just Redditors being stupid. Yeah, Redditors saying stupid stuff about me and about people in the community as well. It's just dumb, is what I would say there. But yeah, it's annoying to read that kind of stuff, because it sucks that people can have that much bad faith towards you. But, you know, I mean, hey, I guess I made it, right? I finally got I finally got people that finally accused me of sending death threats. You know, that's progress, right? That means you finally made it when you have people that hate you that much that they make up slanderous lies about you. You don't know why they generalized the community like, really, what did you do? You better talk about Toy Story? Because as far as they're concerned, we're all equally monstrous. As far as they're concerned, anyone who's even remotely associated with me is just as monstrous and evil because we dare to criticize the likes of Toy Story 4. It's... yeah. Yeah, it's an accomplishment. Mom, I made it to Reddit. I don't know. Okay, so is there anyone that I've not yet added? Like, is there anyone that's currently still waiting to join that I need to add as a friend or that wants to join the lobby, or should we get the show on the road? Mom, I made it to Reddit. You may disown me now. It's great. Not in yet? Okay. We'll wait a little while longer while everyone piles into the lobby in that case. Yeah, I don't want to make a big stink about it because shining more light on it is only gonna just like cause more issues. They want a reaction, but I don't really want to give that to them. Plus, I'd have to make a Reddit account to actually reply, and that's not worth the effort, to be completely honest with you. It really is not. So, it's a dumb thing that happened. Reddit's stupid, and I'm gonna keep living my life the same way I've always done, and I'm just gonna let it roll off my back. All that's left is filming an apology video. I gotta film an apology video and then go. I open the video by saying, I didn't want to make this video, and then that's it. Am I going to use the Discord chat today? Nah. There's some technical difficulties I have to sort out for that. So you all are welcome to jump into a Discord voice chat if you want to, and chat amongst yourselves. That's totally fine. But I myself will not be joining today. I'll try to have it set up for the next Mario Kart stream, though, but there's some things that I haven't set up properly for how I stream on console that I need to get sorted out first. The Dangaron with subreddit is the worst thing you've ever experienced. Oh god, that just sounds like a recipe for disaster. I don't even want to. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Okay, so is everyone in now? I believe we're all here. I'm gonna start the game. So speak now, forever hold your peace. If there's anyone that has yet to join the lobby. But I'm going to get things rolling with 150cc race, no teams, normal items. We'll throw in some calm as well, because I think this will film. We learned last time that we can put this on, it'll fill in the gaps of anyone who's not here, and then if anyone joins, it'll sub them out, so we'll do that. All vehicles, we'll do... I guess we'll do it in... We'll do it in chunks of 8, just so we can block it off in case anything... Actually, no, we'll do it in chunks of 4, so that in case if anyone joins mid-race, we can get them in between then. Okay, so we'll do this, start the race. Okay. Remember, kids never think that something is the worst because, believe it or not, it can always get worse. Yeah, I've learned that. 2021 is the year of learning that just because you think something is the worst, that does not mean it's true, because, oh boy, howdy, there's always a way for things to get worse. If you just track my journey throughout 2021 of the things I thought were the worst of the worst, it's a disaster of how things quickly spiral out of control. I'm just gonna do random for the first one. Let's see what we get. What's the worst subreddit I've ever seen? I don't know the answer to that because I don't use Reddit, but based on what I've seen today, well, I guess I can. I was gonna say based on what I've seen today, I would say the Toy Story one, but I can't really say that in earnest because I've only seen one bit of that, but I know damn well that there are other servers or other subreddits that have a much greater quantity of bullshit, so I can't say that in earnest. Sonic movie, so Sonic movie, I don't even want to, I feel like it's just a constant race as to who's worse, the Sonic movies, like the Sonic community or the Halo community. Because as an avid fan of both Sonic games and the Halo games, the communities for both of those are just the worst, like genuine garbage. And I'm embarrassed to be a fan of both of things in some instances. Which, by the way, as far as Sonic Adventure is concerned, I still, in case anyone's curious, I'm still overall positive about the game. Even in spite of its more questionable qualities, that being the kind of wonky camera every now and again. I'm still having a good time, although it's also worth knowing that I've only played Sonic Story up until this point. I've not yet engaged with Tails or Knuckles or anyone else's story, so remains to be seen as to how that's all going to play out. But yeah, that's what I have to say on that. Also, a gentle reminder, I will not be able to read chat during the race because I have to focus 100% on the race at all times. But once all 3 laps are clear, then I can check back and read on what's going on, and I will allow you to take that spiny shell right to the face. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this all week because, as I've mentioned in the Discord server, it's been a very stressful week. I don't want to get into the details because I don't want to imbue my stress upon you all, but it's just some personal stuff that's happened with people I care about very deeply that I've been worried about. But you know, it's it's stressful to go through, but I've been looking forward to just a chance to kick back and relax, hang out with all of you, play some Mario Kart, and hopefully have a good time. And also, it'll probably be the last time we all play Mario Kart 8 together in one of these community streams before the booster pass comes out. Also, thanks for stealing that banana from me. That was very unfortunate timing. So the booster pass comes out very, very soon. I think it's next week that it comes out, or something similar to that effect. So, yeah, but the next Mario Kart community stream we do will be with the booster pack, or the booster pass. Is it the pack or the pass? I don't know. It's one of those things. It's either the booster pack or the booster pass. But that'll be the next time we do this. So, should be a good time. I am very much looking forward to it. And that is the first race done. Okay. Do I know Hokibird in any capacity? I believe I answered this question in the last stream, but yes, Hokibird428 was my inspiration for doing my Halo 5 Legendary walkthrough. My Halo 5 walkthrough was very much inspired by his Noob's Guide to Legendary series. And it's because of him that I learned to become as good at Halo as I was going to say as good at Halo as I am, but that makes me sound very arrogant to say, well, now I'm great at this game. But, I do believe I've gotten significantly better in my gameplay ever since I started watching some of his videos, and they've helped me out a lot. So, yeah, I know who Hokibird is. I've watched his videos. I've learned a lot. I don't really need them anymore. I used to rely on his sort of tips for Legendary guides as a crutch. I don't need them anymore, because I've learned how to play Halo on Legendary proficiently. But they're if you're getting into Halo and you want to learn the basics of it and how Legendary difficulty works, I strongly recommend watching his Hoki School of Halo series, because that runs you through the basics of how the games work and what are some base level tips and tricks you can use. So yeah, I know who he is. Booster Pack comes out on the 14th, I think it's the 18th that it comes out, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that though. But it's sometime very soon is what I know. So we'll see how that pans out. You would have done so much better, but you made a huge mistake at the beginning and somehow it went in reverse. Yeah, it's always frustrating, because that happened to me when I was recording some of the Mario Kart ARC videos, is whenever you make a really, really bad mistake at the very beginning of the race and it just haunts you for the rest of the race. It's always unfortunate whenever that happens. The smallest things early on can lead to massive consequences later down the line. Hopefully whatever happens turns out okay. I hope so too. I don't really want to go into too much detail until I know more about how the odds of how things are going to turn out, but it's a scary time. I couldn't switch to the green shell in time, that's unfortunate. Nope, but that one passed by me, thankfully. But it's a scary time. I'm kind of nervous for how it's going to play out, but I'm remaining optimistic for the most part. Did I watch any of the How It Should Have Ended videos? If you mean the one about No Way Home that was posted in the Discord channel, I have not seen that one yet. But I have seen a couple of them before. Unfortunately, I don't remember literally anything about any of them. Like, I know there was one made about Toy Story 3. I know I watched it. I can vividly recall watching it, but I could not tell you a single thing about what actually happened in it. So, I've seen some of their videos. I seem to remember being entertained by some of them. But as to the specifics of it, I couldn't tell you anything about it. And in regards to specifically the No Way Home one, I don't know. If I ever need someone to vent to, we're here for you. I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. But I also, something that happened, like when I was in high school, whenever I had something I needed to get off my chest, people didn't usually want to listen to it because, you know, it's about something someone told me was, man, I hate it when people do that. I hate it when people bring up something negative as a downer to kind of bring down the mood. It's like, okay, lesson learned. Don't bring up anything sour or depressing to anyone ever. So I've just tried to do my best to not imbue my personal issues upon other people, because it's not, to be frank, like it's not, I shouldn't place that upon anyone who's not myself or someone who's directly related to it to how to kind of wrestle through a situation like that. So I appreciate that you say that, but I just I don't think it's I wouldn't want to do that to you guys to kind of like imbue, because then someone might be worried about the situation that they have no control over and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just not something I want to deal with, I guess. Yeah, we are all hoping that the situation will turn out okay in the end. Hopefully. Okay. yeah, because as for DK Jungle, I just played this 2 days ago for recording the Mario Kart 7 videos. And man, it is a drastic improvement in Mario Kart 8. Well, that's just the case for all of them, though, because it's not... None of the courses there are bad in any discernible way. It's just that they all gotten a major overhaul since that game. Speaking of Sonic, get ready for Big's Big Fishing Adventure. So much fun. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard about the fun that awaits me with the fishing minigame. The fishing minigame... Although, I think because I feel like the fishing minigame will just be underwhelming, whereas the Knuckles Emerald finding minigames I've heard are actually painful. So, I don't know. We'll see how it all turns out. Will this day for Mario Kart 8 DLC is March 18th? I was pretty sure it was the 18th. So I think I might do it. I might do another. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. I'm probably gonna do, because I don't have time on my schedule to do a full Let's Play on it, I don't think, with everything that's coming out. Like, the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is gonna throw a massive wrench in my plans, because I have to cover that in some capacity. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to. So, and then there's also Cosmonious Highs coming out at the end of the month, which I've been looking forward to for a while, and I want to check that out. So, yeah, my schedule's going to be a little bit hectic moving forward, so I don't think I have the time to commit a full series of Let's Play videos to it, but I do at least want to cover, because the Mario Kart 8 series is a big one for the channel, so I at least want to cover it to somewhat. So I might do a stream that weekend, just playing through all the new courses, and then I might, I'm just undecided as to whether I do a stream, like a community stream like this, playing through all the courses, or just do a stream playing through all the courses by myself for the first time, and then doing a community stream a little bit later. I'm undecided on that note for the time being, but we'll see. The fishing minigame will make Skydeck look good by comparison. Oh god, that sounds like actually the worst. Because Skydeck might very well be the worst Sonic stage I've ever played, and that's including the likes of the Labyrinth Zone, which is saying a hell of a lot, because Labyrinth Zone is just a nightmare by design. So, yes, I mean, when you get to the point where the controls literally have just stopped working and Sonic can't even go across the stupid monkey bars and the camera is fighting me all the time, constantly, yeah, there might be a problem. Also, that didn't do anything. I wasn't close enough for that to get the effect that I wanted it to. Oh, dear lord. I keep trying to glance at chat, and it's probably going to screw me over here in the long run. Ow, dear god, that's a lot of fireballs. Anyone pre-order the DLC? Thankfully, I don't have to, because I have Nintendo Switch Online, the expansion pack, so it comes with the game, or with the pack by default, which is honestly a nice bonus. It's a nice bonus to have that feature come by default with the expansion pack. But, so no, I have not pre-ordered it because I have not needed to. But if I didn't have it, I definitely would have pre-ordered it by now. So there's that. Dreamcast is as bad as N64 to emulate. I don't know much about that, but I'll take your word for it. I have not heard much about the actual Dream. I didn't even know the Dreamcast was a console for the most part until I actually started getting more into the Sonic franchise and learning about all the history of the games. I didn't actually know what the Dreamcast was prior to that point. Can I play in 200cc? I would love to do 200. You have no idea how much I would love to do 200cc, but it's been made crystal clear that people in this community do not like 200cc, so we can't do that. But you are more than welcome to join us. If you need my friend code, I can show that to you really quickly. My friend code is right here, so you can add me through this, and then we can get you into the lobby after that. Sonic Adventure 2 contains a contains a stage that's even worse. Oh, I know. I've been made aware that the Sonic Adventure 2 version of the Knuckles Emerald minigame is somehow even worse than the one from Sonic Adventure 1. So, I don't even... pain is in my future, is the idea. Will I ever play October Expansion? Possibly. I might play it, well, I'll probably play it at some point, just not anytime soon, and it'll probably be a stream, not a proper Let's Play. So yeah, but not anytime soon, I don't think. The Sonic not moving part was no doubt the keyboard bindings being awful. Well, I don't know, because that's never happened prior to that point. That had never happened at any point throughout the Let's Play. So I don't know why magically at that point it just decided to stop working. That was bizarre, frustrating but bizarre. And then the Lost World was also a pain to get through because of how the camera is not your friend in that section where the well, you have to get around, you have to ride around the coiling snake in the water room. That's a nightmare to get through as well. That was just a painful video to do, just from start to finish. So hopefully things, well, I say hopefully things get better, but I've just finished what I believe, from what I understand, I'm pretty sure Sonic's story is like the best story in the game. So I'd like to say things are only going to get better from here, but I can't say that in earnest, given, well, I don't know about Tails' story. Tails' story could be good, but Knuckles' story I've heard is not so much. And even less so for, what are the other ones? Amy's story I've heard it can be annoying. I don't know anything about the robot story, and then Big's one is just infamous for being, oh, that's the fishing one. Enjoy some pain. Have some free pain in the form of the big fishing minigame. And to be clear, I'm not opposed to fishing. In fact, one of the games I played a lot as a kid was a game called Fishing Master that I really enjoyed a lot, actually. I really enjoyed playing that game. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I might stream that game one day. Honestly, if I just want to play a game to kind of kick back and relax and chill, have some fun, I might play Fishing Master, because that's a really fun, relaxing game to play. But when I'm playing a Sonic game, where the idea is about momentum and speed, don't necessarily want to kick back and fish. Not on the agenda of things to do in a Sonic game. Gotta be honest here. But you know, as usual, I'll go into it with an open mind, and we'll see what it's. Ow, that was a sad lightning strike. We'll see what it's like. Despite what people may think about me, I do actually go into things with an open mind. I don't want to hate anything, and even with Lightyear. When Lightyear comes out in June, I don't want to hate that movie, and it would be really cool if it actually ends up being a really fun, entertaining, coherent sci-fi action-adventure film. It's just that from everything I've seen about it, it doesn't look like it's going to be that, and the same thing with the Halo TV show. I so badly do not want to make a video on the Halo TV show. I just don't want to do that. It's... For one, my schedule doesn't really make time for it right now, so it would throw everything into chaos if I had to make it. But also, I don't want to spend... I don't want a TV show based on what is my favorite game series of all time to be bad, but unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way. So, there's that. Okay, second place. I'll take a second place finish overall. I'm content with that. Considering I haven't played in a while, I am content with a second place finish. And congrats to Hugo for finishing first. Okay. Now then. I believe I received a couple friend requests during that. So I will accept those friend requests. And anyone who's in the chat right now, you are more than welcome to join us. I'll add you as a friend. And I'll add the other one as well. Here you go. And then you can join my lobby, or my room is what it's called, technically speaking. And then we'll get you in for the next set of... And by the way, it's actually kind of worked out perfectly, because that's why I wanted to do it in kind of chunks of 4, so that if anyone new came in, they could funnel in quickly after the race was over, instead of doing a long chunk of like 8 or 10 races. I think that worked. Sonic Adventure 2 is an improvement on almost everything, including the voices, which is surprising because most of the cast is the same, still not that great. I have heard the general consensus is that Adventure 2 is better than Adventure 1. And obviously the one people reference is the, you know, escape from the city thing that plays. The city escape level. 200cc was an interesting experience, but it's also quite a difficult one you can't handle, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people aren't a big fan of it, because it's really, you have to really get a proper grip on, you know, drifting around corners and using brakes appropriately. So, I understand why people aren't a big fan of 200cc. You still can't believe you spent your week on Ultra Despair Girls. You heavily regret it. Ultra Despair Girls is painful for many different reasons. That game is painful to do. I feel like that playing that game changed me. Like I feel like it just. It feels like that's a game you survive. You come out the other end of it thinking, "Oh God, what did I just experience?" And the fact that all of the plot beats that were built up in that game meant nothing in Danganronpa 3 kind of pissed me right the hell off. It's like, oh, why did I play that game when it was going to mean nothing in the end? Great. Great. To anyone in chat who, just a quick question, is there anyone in chat who is currently trying to join that hasn't? If not, then I'm gonna start the game in a couple seconds. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Because I'm gonna get the show on the road in a second. It looks like we have no objections from anybody. So, we'll begin. I have seen some requests for 200cc. Do you want to try 200cc? If you do, let me know, and I can set it to that. But I want to get a general sense of how everyone's feeling right now. Because I am totally down to do it. But the last time we did 200cc, people weren't a big fan of it, so if you want to try it, that's totally fine with me. But I want to get a solid consensus of what we want to do. You want to do it? Okay, then we'll do it. We'll wait for Gerard to join, because I believe he's trying to join right now. I just accepted your friend request, so we can give it a shot. I'm more than down. Believe I prefer to play this game with 200cc, so this is totally up my alley. So yeah, once you're in, let me know, and I'll begin the next set of races. Can you join? Absolutely. Just send me a friend request with my friend code. My friend code. I command request in code. My friend code is up here. You can add me here, and then once you add me as a friend, you can join our lobby, and then we'll get the show on the road. So there's the friend code. You can pause the stream if you need to read it in more detail. Oh wow, we have a lot of people here. I think this is the most amount of people we've ever had consecutively racing Mario Kart at any given time. This is a full lobby, which is nice. You're surprised Kang wasn't in my top 10 most hated characters, so I don't consider anything that happened post Endgame to be a canon addition to the MCU. Because if you acknowledge the existence of any of that, then it makes the entirety of the first two phases irrelevant. So, there's that. All right, I think this will probably be the last request I get, and then we'll start the game. I will add you right now. There we go. Okay, that should be the last request we get. I think we have close to a full lobby right now, which is not something I expected to see at all. We're gonna have 10 players here once he joins. You've been meaning to join Market streams in the past. You haven't had the time. I'm glad you got to join. Well, I am also glad you got to join. Okay, this is a full lobby. This is gonna be fun. Okay, so we're doing 200cc. We have consensus from everyone. We're doing 200cc. I make no promises to how this is gonna go, because the last time we tried this, it didn't go very well. But I love 200cc, so I'm more than willing to give it a shot. Okay, here we go. 200cc race with everyone. The more people, the merrier. Absolutely, more the merrier. The more people we have in the lobby, the merrier. More people to kick my ass. Okay, so I'll request for this, so I'll vote here. You've heard a bit of controversy about the DLC pass. What's my thoughts? Some think that the courses don't look as fun as the original. My thoughts are that upon initial view, when I first saw the Coconut Mall, during the trailer, during the direct, we saw Coconut Mall was shown off, and admittedly, I was a little iffy about it, not just because, like, looking at Coconut Mall, it didn't look as visually refined as, A, the original Coconut Mall, and B, the other courses in Mario Kart 8. So visually, I'm skeptical, but it's undeniable that at the price it's charged at, for the amount of courses you get from just that one pass, I think that's a hell of a deal. To get that many courses for that price tag, I think that's just indisputably a great deal to get. So I am optimistic about it, and I'm hoping to see some of the courses that weren't, because like there's a lot of courses from Mario Kart 7 specifically that just were never remastered for whatever reason, and I would absolutely love to see them come back through this booster pass. Because I play Mario Kart 7 for the first time this week, recording videos for next week, and man, it was a blast. I think it's solidified my belief that the Mario Kart games have just gotten progressively better over time. But as to the original question, someone in regards to the topic of whether the courses look as fun as the original, that's, I don't think, a judgment call that we can properly make until we actually race on them ourselves, because we can judge how they visually look, like in terms of aesthetics and graphical fidelity, but in terms of the actual quality of how much fun they are to race on them, I'm not sure I can make a definitive call about that until the game, or until the pass properly comes out, and then we should be able to get a more definitive answer on whether they're as fun to race on as they were originally. So, but from what I've seen, I'm pleased with what we've seen so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out moving forward. But I definitely understand. I have seen some of the controversy about the pass, and I definitely understand it. Also, whoever I just hit at the last second with the green shell, I am so sorry. I just spammed the green shells as a final Hail Mary move, so my apologies go out. You're surprised Shilong Lang wasn't in my hated characters list and Byakuya? They were originally, but after seeing how many other characters we crossed paths with over the course of the series, or over the course of last year, it was inevitable they would get knocked out of the list, I should say. Like we crossed paths with way worse characters than those guys. Plus, by the end of Danganronpa 3, I actually didn't hate Byakuya as much, because he finally got something of a character by the end. He grew somewhat, which is something I didn't think we'd ever see. So, yeah, there was something there. We actually can judge that. A lot of them are ripped from Mario Kart Tour. Oh, I didn't know that. So, in that case, I can't really judge that definitively, because I haven't played much of Mario. What little I have played of Mario Kart Tour, I have not enjoyed at all. I don't like the controls for Mario Kart Tour, just to the nature of it being on a mobile device. This doesn't work out all that well. But I'm looking forward to seeing how it translates to Mario Kart 8, because I think categorically Mario Kart 8 has the smoothest and most refined controls of all the Mario Kart games. Which is why, and I think Nintendo knows that, because there's a reason why it sold so many copies, and I think they know that they can't top themselves in terms of the actual, how refined the controls are and how smooth it feels to race around the tracks, which is why I think obviously financially, making DLC for an already existing movement engine helps out in terms of production speed, as opposed to having to invent a whole new game, but also just, they can't top what they've made with this, so it makes more sense to just add more content to it, which is what I've been hoping for a long time, and I even said as much in the start of my Mario Kart 64, I think it was Mario Kart 64 series, that I said, hey, I would love to see more DLC for Mario Kart 8, not so much a Mario Kart 9, just more DLC for Mario Kart 8 is what I would want to see moving forward. So there's that. Oh dear God. I am out of practice with this. That is a lot of invincibility stars behind me. And also a red shell. Jesus, breaking. Oh God. Out of practice, it doesn't even begin to describe how I am with this game. Oh dear God, lightning at the worst possible time. Mario Kart Tour charge more for the Diddy Kong itself than over 40 courses. Doesn't surprise me. It's a mobile game. It's a crappy mobile game that's designed to be a crappy mobile game, so it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that it had that kind of predatory microtransaction system. Which is unfortunate, but there's reasons why I have as harsh criticisms of that game as I do. Oh, I could have hit the thing and I didn't. Shoot. I tried to hit the boost pedal at the last second, but it didn't work out all that well. Oh, dear Lord. Jesus. Okay. Well, that was a hectic race. That was incredibly hectic. Mario Kart Tour is the second worst Mario Kart game, and we all know what the worst is. Yeah, Super Mario Kart. When I said that the Mario Kart games have been getting progressively better over time, I was discounting Mario Kart Tour. I don't even acknowledge its existence for the most part. In terms of the mainline Mario Kart games of Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64, Super Circuit, Double Dash, DS, Wii, 7, and then 8, I firmly believe they have gotten progressively better as the years have gone by. Okay. Diddy Kong alone costs $40, which is insane. That is the... I mean, given the fact that it's Nintendo and that it's a mobile game where predatory business practices with microtransactions are sadly the norm, it doesn't surprise me, but it still annoys me that that's the case. That's why I just don't like the trend of mobile games in general. Because they all... I mean... I can't, because obviously there's mobile games that are just ported to a mobile device. For instance, the Ace Attorney games, for instance, were ported to the mobile devices, and I played them on my iPad. So, but when I say mobile game, you know the kind of game I'm talking about, right? Like, I'm referring to the stereotypical crappy mobile game that's crapped out, that just looks underdeveloped and looks rushed, and just has a plethora of microtransactions in it all the time. That's what I mean when I refer to the typical mobile game style. So yeah, that's what I refer. Because I mean, even the Room games, the Room puzzle games originated as mobile games that were then ported to the PC, and I think the first game is actually on the Switch right now afterwards. But they started as mobile games. That's not what I mean, because I mean yes, they were designed for the mobile platform, but they were designed as single-player experiences that I believe the first game only cost 99 cents, and which is a hell of a steal for that game. So, there are good mobile games, but the reputation that they have is not all that great for the most part. So yeah, that's my stance on mobile games as a whole. I don't think very highly of the... I was gonna say genre, it's not really a genre, but the style of what mobile games traditionally fall into is not something that I am a fan of at all. Especially Super Mario Run and Mario Kart Tour are both symptoms of the same overarching problem of just selling you less of the game and then feeding it back to you more later at an inflated price. Also, I think I just passed by the carnage of the spiny shell that came through here earlier. And I'm hoping that I can get away this blooper ink with the panel right here. Okay. Of course, the Mario Kart Tour fronts what's good. The courses of that game kind of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I can't speak to that. I know that game has just like an absurd amount of courses because they just sold so many DLC packs for that game. It's a mobile game, so it's very profitable. But I can't speak to the quality of any of them because it did not take me long to give up on Mario Kart Tour because of how generally crap the actual control scheme is for that game. So, yeah, maybe the courses are the greatest thing ever created. I don't know. Will I play other Mario sports games? Probably not. And I probably won't spend much time playing the new Strikers game either. I might stream it one day, as in, like, I might stream it for one day, once it comes out in June, but I won't stream it for very long. So, and I don't plan on actually, maybe, I might do a stream one day of Mario Super Sluggers doing the campaign mode. I don't know what it's called, I don't know if it's called challenge mode or adventure mode or whatever, but whatever the single player story mode for Mario Super Sluggers is, that I might do one day. Because that I actually kind of had fun playing as a kid, and I'd like to try it again to see if I can beat it. Because I never beat it as a kid, but I want to stream it one day, just for fun. So, I might do that. But other than that, probably not. Could be worse. Nintendo could join the NFT play-to-earn games bandwagon, charge $4 for an NFT character. As someone else just said, don't jinx it. Given Nintendo's track record, I wouldn't put it past them to do something predatory like that. Remember Mario Sluggers being fun? Oh yeah, that's a game, I played that game, specifically I remember with my cousins. I played that game with my cousins so much. We had so much fun playing. In fact, whenever they came over to my grandmother's house just to hang out, the one thing, because they knew I had a bunch of Wii games, so they'd always ask to play Super Sluggers whenever they came over, and that was just something we did a lot. So I have a lot of great memories with that game, and I might check it out just for a one-off stream one day, just to see, because the base. I was gonna say the base game, the core base gameplay for the baseball experience is a lot of fun, and then I believe the single-player campaign mode also was a lot of fun as well. So, you know, I I'm happy to give that another shot. But as far as like Mario Strikers Charge or the tennis game they made, I think I rented the tennis game as a kid and then just never touched it again after that. I rented it for one day. It didn't wow me, so I didn't play it again. But any of the other Mario sports games, like the Mario Tennis game, I believe, was it called Mario Tennis Aces or something? Never played that game, probably won't. I do own Mario Golf Super Rush. I might check out the campaign mode for that game one day. There's another one that just slipped my mind. What was it? God damn it! I had it and I lost it. I had another game and then I just lost my train of thought completely. I'll put a pin in that, I suppose. But yeah, I guess there's some I might be willing to check out one day, but not many of them, I don't think. Did I get third? No, I got fourth. So I guess I'm not opposed to playing some of them, but I don't plan on covering many of them. I just got it. The Olympic Games, like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games or Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. Those are ones that I would be not... I don't think I would check those out. The Winter Games I remember being a lot of fun. Because there was like a sports camp... There was a campaign mode for that one as well, I think. Where you made a team of characters and there were daily events you'd had to do. That could be fun. But as far as the base Mario Sonic Olympic games, I played it as a kid. Didn't wow me. Okay, so I believe OTVDH said the next one will be your last course you have to work afterwards. So I don't know if you already left the lobby. But if you're still here, I hope you have a good day at work. I hope you had fun with us, and hope to see you for whatever you want to watch next. Thanks for tuning in. Assuming you're, I don't even know if you're still here. But, okay. So, Stro Hut, the intent of this stream is to be just sort of a relaxing stream playing games with all of you. I do not want to get into what's happening around the world right now. But, it's a scary time for sure. And it's scary to watch it all unfold. But the last thing I want to do right now is get into what's happening with that in greater detail. So please let's not get into that right now. Alright, yeah, see you later, Old Vanderhayden. Thanks for tuning in and playing while you were here. It was a fun time. See you around. Okay, so do we want to, now that we've done that, do we want to do 200cc again, or do we want to go back to 150? I'm down for either. We tried it out. It was an experience, so I'm down to do whatever you guys want to do. Go back to 150? Okay. I had a feeling. I had a feeling that we want to do that. 150, please, I beg you. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Because this was my concern, because a lot of people weren't a big fan of 200cc last time we did it. So I was worried, it's like, are you sure you guys want to do this? It didn't go very well last time. But, you know, it worked. It was really fun, but let's make it more accessible. Yeah, we gave it a shot. We did it once. But I think it's definitely best to go back to 150 for the time being. How painful is getting 3 stars on alternative CC cups? Honestly, it's not all that bad. I didn't have much. I mean, I didn't get them first try, but well, I should say this: when I first started doing turn CC, it was a nightmare because I wasn't used to racing at that high a speed, so it definitely took a lot of time to get used to controlling. Just bumped the microphone there. Sorry, to controlling the car at those incredibly high speeds. But once I got used to it, it wasn't all that bad. It's a matter of learning to brake. You gotta really get a proper grip on braking around corners. So that's what makes it bearable, is doing that. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. If you see other messages around politics, should we delete it? Please do, yeah. I don't want to there's a reason why there's a rule on my Discord server of steering away from religion and politics, because it's not something I want to get involved in. I don't want to go down that route of discussion for any, like, I'm not a political channel. I don't get into this stuff. Like, obviously what's happening in the world right now is a scary time, and to be honest, when the news broke, I didn't have much motivation to do much that day, just because seeing what was happening was just soul. That combined with my Q&A video corrupting was very soul draining. Just all it was a rough. It's been a rough time, and I can't express to you how soul sucking it is to see all this stuff unfolding and not being in a position to do anything about it. But like, my channel has always been here to be an escape from the events of the world, like a place you can go to, you know, kind of just take your mind off the events of the world for a couple hours and just relax and have some fun playing some fun games or talking about some fun games or whatever. That's what I've always set out to do, is to entertain people with that, and that's what I always plan to do moving forward. So that's why I tend to steer away from those types of topics, because that's not. There's a time and a place to discuss those things. A stream where we play Mario Kart and just have fun as a community is not one of those things. So my sympathies are with the people that are suffering from this right now, and I don't have the words to express how soul-sucking it is to watch all this unfold and be in a position to not do anything about it. But this isn't the place to discuss those types of things. So let's just all agree it's an awful thing. Yeah, let's all agree that what's happening is horrible and awful, and leave it at that. Is a good way to do it. I don't want to. For this and all other issues like it moving forward, this isn't something that's all my channel is here for, and we're gonna just leave it at that. Wholeheartedly, we'll keep it fun, stream meant to have fun and relax. At least we can do that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Yeah, that's my. Because really, I don't like to stifle what people have to say, and generally my rules are pretty straightforward. It's just no discriminatory conversations, like be it racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, and any discriminatory discussions of any kind is not tolerated under any circumstances. That's the basics of it, and then just steering away from the more controversial topics of politics and religion. So long as you abide by those two things, you can pretty much say whatever the hell you want, to be honest with you. I don't like to stifle what people have to say. I like to let people speak what's on their mind. So long as you're respectful about it to everyone else, to other people here, and so long as it's not ballooning into something more controversial than what we came out here to do, then you're pretty much allowed to say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. Okay, well, under the rules I just prescribed, like, you know, don't push it. But that's, you know what I mean. How many games do I own but I have not played? I can't even begin to tell you the answer to that question. I'm looking at a stack of games to my right, as I'm saying this actually right now, of games I have ordered, or not ordered, that I own, that I'm going to play at some point this year. I can't tell you what's in this stack because that'd be spoilers, but there's a stack of Switch cases right to my right that I'm going to play at some point that I haven't played yet. So the list of games I have yet to play but currently own is numerous and growing by the day. Of course, I can't get into that because, you know, spoiler. No, I say spoilers if that really matters anymore, because some people have been I've been checking my Steam library game activity to see what future games are on the horizon for Let's Plays, so it's like, okay. I mean, because I was considering hiding my game activity after that, just so that there's no spoilers, but then I realized, well, I could do that, but it'd be more fun to mess with people, so just know moving forward that now that I'm aware people are using that as a means to determine what the next LP is, it's not, because simply clicking the green button of playing the game and then closing it immediately, it'll still show up as a recently played game in my Steam library, so it'll be very easy for me to skew what that looks like for anyone trying to use to determine future games, just so you know. How do you join? After I can show you my friend code after this race, and then you can join the lobby after that. Toy Story is a masterpiece? Yeah, you can say that. I mean, once you're allowed to say it is a masterpiece if you want, and then once you bring in your evidence, I can prove to you why it's not. But like that, you're not gonna get banned for saying Toy Story 4 is a masterpiece or Apollo Justice is good or anything like that. That's kind of what I mean when I say you can say whatever you want. You are allowed to express your opinions about whatever you want, and you're not gonna get banned by any of us. But you know, just I made my rules pretty clear. That's so long as you're not actually being disrespectful and discriminatory to other people, you're allowed to make any statements you want within reason. It's kind of the point of what I said earlier. So yeah, there's that. And someone else asked, what's my favorite track remake? Well, first of all, it's very apropos, because I believe you said yours is Ribbon Road, and, well, here we are in Ribbon Road. But, I think, now that I've played the original versions of the tracks, I need to think about it in more detail to get a proper answer on that, but I really don't. I don't have a proper answer for the time being, because I need to think about it some more. But it's... Instinctively, I'd probably say Yoshi Valley. Just because now the game is actually advanced enough to be able to track people's positioning. The falling off is not painful anymore. So it could be that one. Rainbow Road not being 3 laps and being 3 sections is a much needed improvement. Although I will say, the changes they made to Ribbon Road are pretty stellar, so that's a good one. That's another good pick. You can't fix Baby Park, it's just destined to be crap. So I don't know, it's probably one of those. Those are all good options. Let's see, what did I miss? Oh, right, my friend code, sorry. If you want to join, my friend code is right here. So you can add me on Switch, and then you should be able to join my lobby from there. If you want to see the friend code for longer, you can pause the stream. I gotta get back into the game now, but you can pause the stream, type in my friend code, and then add me, and then after this next race, I can add you back, and then you can join. What's my favorite vocal Sonic song? Reach for the Stars, easily. I will say, Endless Possibilities is a close second. I love Reach for the Stars and Endless Possibilities. I also like Dreams of an Absolution from Sonic 06. I know that game's the big bad or whatever, but that song is genuinely incredible, and I love it to bits. So those are probably the top 3. Speak with Your Heart, man. I always liked Speak with Your Heart, but after hearing the crap that was that remix, the dubstep trap remix they did for Sonic Colors Ultimate, man, I have grown. I have gained so much more appreciation for the original song after hearing that absolute rubbish that was crapped into my ears during that game. Because the Reach for the Stars remix, it's not as good as the original, but it still sounds good. The Speak with Your Heart remix, Speak with Your Heart remix, I don't know what they were thinking with that one. It doesn't even remotely sound anything like it. It's not even remotely within the spirit of the original song. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that one. So, but yeah, it's probably Reach for the Stars, or Endless Possibilities. But Reach for the Stars probably wins out in the end overall. So I'll say that, and I'll check chat again after I hit this boost, this glide ramp. Please, oh, come on. Why Toy Story 4 is a 10 out of 10 film that is the best movie ever made. If someone made a video like that, it would give me something to respond to. I mean, there's still plenty of video essays out there that try to say that Toy Story 4 is a perfect movie. Or at least that the ending makes sense for Woody's character, which it absolutely does not. And I considered responding to some of them, but I would rather have just kept the conversation focused on the actual film itself. And I incorporated lots of people's defenses into that game, or into my series when I made it. Like, when I made that series, I took a lot of people's defense. I wish I had the conversation with Brooks before I made my series, so I could really cover as much ground as possible in terms of just the sheer insanity of the types of defenses people have for that movie. It's really ridiculous. But, you know, I'm curious as to, because Brooks was supposed to watch Toy Story 4 and then we were supposed to talk about it again, but he still hasn't done it, because, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the conclusion that we reached, because I talked to him about it again after the stream, and after, I got him to admit that he doesn't remember the movie all that well, so he agreed to watch it again. But now that it's been 2 months and he still hasn't watched it, I'm pretty sure he just said that to get out of the conversation because he knew we couldn't win, and he's never going to actually watch it again. So, yeah. Usually you don't like commenting on videos. I'm the first YouTuber you ever commented on because of the community I built up so far and because of the effort I put into my content. That is really awesome to hear. I'm glad you found a place with this community and you are content with typing messages to all of us. That is really amazing to hear. I mean, I'm the same way. I don't usually comment on videos either. I usually just watch the videos and then leave a like and be on my way. Because I don't usually have much insightful things to say. Anything I say is usually already been said by somebody else, so I just don't feel the need to. And I will say, for smaller YouTubers, I will sometimes leave a comment. Like for Thomas J. Ashel, who is my inspiration, I do comment on his videos occasionally because I know he's gonna see all the comments. But for someone like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye, because I watched the In Space of Markiplier trailer that came out yesterday, it looks incredible. I'm so excited to watch it because Markiplier is genuinely so talented, and I have so much respect for him. He's such a massive role model for this platform, and I'm so excited to watch / play it. But I don't really feel the need to comment about it because I know he's never gonna see it. Not because he doesn't care. I know he cares about his community. It's just that it's not realistic for a YouTuber of that size to be able to read every single comment that ever gets posted. So I just don't feel incentivized to do it. But yeah, for smaller communities, it's much easier for the creator to be able to keep up with what people are saying. Also, I think I just actually, you know what? I might say Neo Bowser City, because I played Neo Bowser City on 3DS. It looks so much better on Mario Kart 8 compared to how it does in 3DS. It's I mean, you'll hear my thoughts on it when I do my Mario Kart 7 Let's Play next week. It looks so much better on Mario Kart 8, and it's not even close. So it might be this one as like my favorite remake that they've ever done. I'm not sure though. But yeah, there's that. Someone asked my thoughts on the Kirby game. I haven't ever played any Kirby games, but I've considered giving this one a shot. I don't know if I'll have time to do a Let's Play on it, but I might stream it, just to check it out, because I've heard a lot of good things about the Kirby games, I just haven't really had the time or desire to properly give the games themselves a shot. Played a demo yesterday. I might also play the demo first, just to see if the gameplay is something I would enjoy. That's something that I feel like doesn't really happen a lot anymore, is game demos. That was a really cool thing to be able to download a demo of a game and try it out before you play the full thing. That doesn't really happen all that much anymore, which is unfortunate, because that's to go back to Thomas J. Ashwell, he does a series, or at least he used to do a series called Let's Demo, where every Friday he would just pick a random demo of a random game and just play it for the entire length of the demo, just to check it out. And I kind of used to do something like that. Partially inspired by his videos, of course, where every Friday I would just pick a random game and play like the first 10 minutes or whatever, or closer to 20-30 minutes of the game, just to see what it was like. The reason I stopped doing that is because no one was watching it, and people were more interested in the main Let's Plays I was doing, so I kind of stopped doing it. But that was something I had a lot of fun doing, was just finding random game demos or just playing the first 20 minutes of a game to see what it was like, and just to kind of explore games I hadn't played before and probably never would have considered otherwise. But it just wasn't a series people were interested in, so I just kind of gave up on it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I wish more games actually had demos to play. I feel like not a lot of them do anymore, which is unfortunate. This might screw me over in the end. I think I might have just lost. Crap. Oh no. Yeah, I just screwed up at the last second. God damn it. SNES ones are objectively good for improving crash tracks. Oh yeah, I mean, the SNES ones just, like, they take horrible, awful, disastrous tracks and just make them actually playable, which is commendable. But in terms of the core, I feel like it's almost unfair to consider them just because they're so far below all the other tracks in terms of their quality. So, is that. Make Baby Park a figure instead of an oval. That could be cool. Instead of it literally just being an oval, that would be but then you'd have people that are crying because it's not exactly like it was. So, yeah, I don't think they can. I think they just need to nuke Baby Park and start again, because I don't think there's anything you can really do. Or how about just make it so that you can actually race through the park? How's that for a grand idea? Race through the amusement park that is Baby Park. How's that for a grandiose idea that no one's ever thought of before? Sonic 06 music. By the way, I'm like really far behind in chat right now, so I'm probably gonna be really far behind what we're currently talking about. But 06 music are always bangers. Yeah, I feel like the one thing you can't really take a stab at in 06 is the music. The music is just really solid. I'm on Mario Kart, am I gonna accept? Yeah, I didn't. I was caught up in the heat of the race, but I can accept it now. Might miss the start of the race, but I will accept this now. Please go faster, thank you. Alright, get me back into the game. Back in. That was just in time. What age better, Super Mario Kart vs. 64? That's tough. I can't answer that, because I genuinely don't know. They're both... At least for Super Mario Kart, I can play on 50cc and make it bearable. There's no way to make Mario Kart 64 bearable except to play a different version of the game. So, you know, I'd probably give the slight edge to Super Mario Kart, but it would be an incredibly slight edge. So, there's that. Oh, don't shell me, please, thank you. Well, there's a ramp here. Yeah, there's a ramp here. Evolutions in gaming, wait for the match to be... Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, dear God, that's a funny shell. I accepted after the match was, or after the race was over. Again, I'm probably very far behind where everyone is currently talking about in chat, but I'm just try my best to keep up as the race goes on, which is not usually a great idea, but I'm doing my best to get caught up by the time this finishes up. And that's a bullet bill headed straight for me. Hello. Yeah, you need not concern yourself with me. Keep on your merry little way. Ow, what the hell was that? Okay. Did I play any Mario Strikers before? Yes, I have Mario Strikers Charge for the Wii. I have not played much of it, but I did enjoy what I played for the most part. So I have played one Mario Strikers game before the new one. I don't have very fond memories of it, not because it was bad, but just because I didn't have... It just wasn't... It wasn't out of this world, it was just fine, I guess. But I am looking forward to seeing what a new one would look like as the new one comes out this June. So we'll see how that turns out. Remains to be seen. And that's another spiny shell headed over here. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to pause looking at chat for the time being until this race is wrapped up, just so I can focus on not falling off. Because Wario's Gold Mine is very easy to fall off the edge. Very, very easy to do that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pass. Well, actually, maybe if I'm fast enough, perhaps. Nope, couldn't pass on the fourth. Okay. How can a demo look better than the entirety of Security Breach when the development team is competent and they have time to make it competent? And when they don't, I have very strong suspicions that they radically change Security Breach halfway through development. It would not surprise me at all. And honestly, what really wouldn't surprise me is if the story itself, specifically the story, was radically different, but then a bunch of theory videos came out saying, hey, what if it's this? And then they're like, oh, we didn't even think of that because it's really, really stupid. So what if we did that instead? You think that'd be cool? And then they did it. So it would not surprise me at all if they had different plans for what the story was going to be and then they changed it to account for fan theories. Which is never something that you should ever do. Never, ever do that. In either direction, either don't change the story to meet fan theories expectations, and don't change the story to avoid fan theory expectations. Just stick to your guns. It's not, because that's something that some people do, is they're like, we gotta subvert people's expectations. It can't be what people expect it to be, and then that never works well, because it always comes at the expense of the integrity of your story. So, ugh. Even people who like Super Mario Kart think the Vanilla Lake is god-awful. Well, that's one down. What is Nintendo's most annoying anti-consumer action? As a content creator, the fact that they are a total bitch about their videos being on YouTube, or the videos of their games being on YouTube. As a content creator, like, I knew before I even watched the Nintendo Direct that I was gonna probably get struck down. Thankfully, it didn't get, completely blocked, but I can't monetize it anymore. Like, it's not a Game Awards situation where I literally, no one could watch it for a short period of time because of the Matrix and Sonic movie trailers. But it was, like, I can't monetize that video anymore. Which I knew, I shouldn't go into a Nintendo Direct thinking, oh, well, this is obviously gonna get demonetized because it's Nintendo. Just generally there's that. There's their pricing models with stuff like the Nintendo 64 and Genesis controllers. There's the expansion pack and the pricing models there. There's the fact that you couldn't stream or record videos of any gameplay of Switch Sports. That was annoying as hell, because I was really excited to be able to play that game with the community and just check it out. But then it's like, oh, actually, no, you can't stream the game, lol, because we're Nintendo and we hate our customers. That pissed me off. So there's that. There's their policy on fan games and just that, emulation in general. There's a lot of reasons to hate Nintendo, but it's I guess hard because they do make some pretty damn good games, but it's just hard because obviously the practices surrounding those games are less than desirable. So yeah, it's an annoying existence. Oh Jesus. It's an annoying existence to be in when the games they make are so great, but their business practices are just so consistently awful. So it just sucks to be a Nintendo fan for the most part. But if I have to pick one thing, it's probably their how much I have to wrestle with them to get videos. I mean, I've not had nearly the same amount of problems that other people have had. Like Jacksepticeye had to edit the way that Super Mario Odyssey cutscenes were laid out so that it could even go up on YouTube at all. So I haven't had it to that extent, but it's still, Nintendo's just shit with that kind of stuff because they're completely out of touch with online content creation. You meant Mario 64, not Mario Kart 64? I know. If I said Mario Kart 64, I didn't mean to say that, but I knew what you were talking about, and my answer is still Super Mario Kart by an ever so slight margin. It's not by much, but it's slight. Oh, and also the Gilbert Center situation is annoying. It's an important question. Milk then cornflakes, or cornflakes first then milk? I don't eat cornflakes, but if you mean cereal in general, I always pour the cereal before the milk. But I've never eaten well, actually, I might have eaten cornflakes once as a kid, but never again since then. Were the reactions to Afton in the pizzeria blind reactions? Did I already know? I had already heard rumblings that, that Afton was in the game, but I had not seen it before that point. Like, I hadn't actually seen what it was going to be like until I actually got to the game itself. But I had heard rumblings about it, so it wasn't completely blind, but it was my first time seeing it in action, which was painful. Also, this is like the third time we've gotten Hyrule Circuit. I feel like this course we've played more than any other in these community streams. I feel like this crops up a lot during these streams. But yeah, just everything except for that, I went into complete blind. Like the Faz Blaster, the Monty Golf, every minigame that game threw my way, I was completely blind to. The only thing that I had some prior knowledge of was the Afton and the Pizzeria Simulator ending. But even then, I hadn't actually seen it. Like, I hadn't seen the boss fight, I hadn't seen the room. I just heard people talking about it, and then once it came out, I was like, oh god, they were right. It was just, I felt nothing. I felt the same way I felt, not to the same extent, but to the same general emotion as what I felt at the end of Toy Story 4 when it was like, you fuckers just made all this irrelevant, you pieces of shit. Because, I mean, I'm gonna tear that game to shreds. The reaction video I put out this week was nothing compared to excuse me, mercilessly I will eviscerate that game when I finally make an analysis video about it. Because man, oh man. Because I have seen so many defenses for security breach, like, oh, it's a smaller team, cut them some slack, or, you know, come on, it's their first time making a game of this caliber. Cut them some slack and a bunch of other things like that. Or, come on, every game has bugs. Or, FNAF 3 was also heavily criticized for gameplay at launch. Give it time, you'll love it in time. It's like, shut up! Just shut up! Or, like, people compare it to FNAF World all the time, and saying, like, hey, FNAF World was rushed and underdeveloped and half-baked, you didn't criticize it then, and it's like, yes, I did, actually. Everyone did. Did you remember the part where Scott literally pulled the game from Steam because it was getting harsh reviews and he felt like he didn't deliver the product that fans deserved, and then gave refunds to every single person who bought the game, regardless of whether they wanted it or not? And it was only $10 compared to the $40 that this piece of shit game costs? Yeah, I remember. Apparently no one else does, though. But, you know, it's fine. Oh, and we got a super chat from Russell Jakubowski. Welcome back. What are my hopes for the DLC for this game? I am hoping to see a lot of the Mario Kart 7 tracks. Namely, I hope we see the Rainbow Road again. I hope we see some of the Woohoo Island tracks. I hope we see maybe Rock Mountain. The Daisy track would be awesome. There's just generally speaking, can we just bring like all the Mario Kart 7 tracks in? That'd be cool. And then, and personally, I would like to see DK Summit and stuff like that from Mario Kart Wii, because Mario Kart Wii is probably still my favorite game in the series. Objectively, the games I think have been getting better and better and better as the years have gone on. But Mario Kart Wii is still probably always going to be my favorite just because of the memories I've made playing that with friends and family. Anyway, sorry about my little rant there. I just really hate Security Breach, and the people that defend it kind of piss me the hell off because of the laughable defenses people make in defense of it. And that's just the general Twitter, like, tweets I've seen. I've seen YouTubers also defending it. And people say, like, oh, the glitches add to the charm of the game. Yeah, it was real charming when I shot Chica in the face with the laser gun and it didn't do anything. Or, when it did do something, but she killed me anyway. Yeah, that was real charming. Remember the whole, when I'm out of battery, I'll kill you? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So, for those who didn't, because I feel like my edit didn't really explain what happened there all that well. Basically, what happened when I said, when my phone runs out of battery, it slits my throat, that makes sense. What happened there is basically, Glamrock Freddy is a gameplay mechanic that's much like Genocide Jack from Ultra Despair Girls, in that it's a get-out-of-jail-free card that makes you invincible for a certain period of time. But once Freddy runs out of battery, well, like, you can't use him anymore once he runs out of battery. Or at least that's how it should work, because I can't believe I'm saying this. Ultra Despair Girls did this better. Because in Ultra Despair Girls, when you run out of battery, you just switch back to Kamaru, and then you keep playing. But in Security Breach, for some stupid reason, if Freddy runs out of battery power, he doesn't kick you out, or anything like that. He literally kills you. That makes no goddamn sense. If you're out of power, you shouldn't immediately kill me. Like, just, if you wanna punish the player for spending too long in Freddy, then just kick me out. Because odds are, if you kick me out, and I'm not paying attention to the power, I might be in a situation where there's a lot of animatronics around, and I'll have to run quickly to survive. But don't kill me outright. That makes no sense at all. So yeah, that, in case you didn't know what happened, for those of you who watched my Security Breach montage, and you were curious as to what I was talking about there, that's kind of what I meant when I was talking about the battery running out and killing me immediately. That's what I meant when I was talking about that, in case anyone was curious. Oh dear God. Okay. That's a lot of green shells you got back there. The Mario Kart 7 Rainbow Road is probably your favorite. Oh, absolutely. Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road is absolutely my favorite of the bunch. I absolutely, I mean, not that that should surprise you, because as an absolute unhealthy nerd of outer space and astronomy, being able to race around on a planet and on the rings of Saturn, I think that was supposed to be, that was awesome. I don't have the words to express how absolutely awesome that was. So, yeah, Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road is easily my favorite. Stuff like that makes you conflicted. Scott did such good things, but also some god-awful things that it's so hard to think about. So, I read a great thread on Twitter, because my thought, like, I'm also very conflicted about what happened. Because, like, Scott did make donations to people, and, like, those donations obviously were very harmful to people, and there's no denying that. But then you look at his track history, or his track record, and you see he's also donated money to really great causes. And there's even some other instances I didn't even know about prior to this point. For instance, there was a YouTuber that worked with Scott, came out as transgender in emails that were privately shared between themselves and Scott, and he was supportive of the transition. And when someone on the Steam forums made a homophobic remark, his response was to put a rainbow on his website for the day. And he donated, like I said, donated money to really great causes and pro-LGBTQ charities. So it's just hard, because he's done really good things in that regard, but he also made the donations to the people that came out last summer. And I don't know how to feel about it, you know? Because he's undoubtedly done a lot of good for the community, and he cultivated a community that has a lot of passion and love, and is very diverse and supportive of each other. And he did a lot of good things for people with things he's donated to and just actions he's taken, principles he's upheld. But he also did things like what happened, and just as a game developer, he has a lot of integrity in terms of his work ethic and things he's done. But then also the things that came out last summer that make it conflicting, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but I just don't know how to feel about it in the end of the day. Hopefully I'm explaining my thought process well, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Another super chat. Okay. Thank you again, Russell, for the super chat. Is Toy Story 4 or Apollo Justice a bigger insult? Toy Story 4, because for one thing, it does more damage to the series, but for another, it doesn't get fixed. Like, Apollo Justice gets fixed by Dual Destinies. Halo 5 gets fixed by Halo Infinite, thankfully. But, what's it? Apollo Justice, sorry, Toy Story 4, there is no Toy Story 5 that's gonna fix it. Which sucks. I mean, maybe one day Pixar will make a Toy Story 5, but I strongly doubt it. And even if it does, I would have no faith in it being good. Security Breach versus V3? I don't... V3 can be easily decanonized and at least functions for the most part. Security Breach is not a functional video game and can't be easily decanonized. You don't think it was a good idea to make FNAF have a larger scope? Making a huge AAA game with small... Yeah. So, like, because a criticism a lot of people levied against the FNAF games is that, oh, you're just sitting in an office waiting to die, which I think that's a very disingenuous summation of what you actually do in those games, especially given the steps that things like FNAF 4 Assisted Location took to expand the scope of what a FNAF game really could be, and that that it was all made in a 2D game engine. So, you know, there were steps that were taken to expand that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they thought to themselves, oh, people don't like that you just sit in an office the whole time, so let's make the game a much bigger scope and have this open world you can roam around in at the expense of the stability of the game and the functionality of the mechanics. Because here's the thing, FNAF VR is a disjointed mess of minigames that have no real correlation to each other, but all the minigames are really, really fun. Like FNAF, because that's all it's supposed to be. FNAF VR is just supposed to be a tribute to the series with a lot of really fun, cool, creative minigame ideas. And it works at that. But, I almost said Sister Breach. Security Breach is trying to do a similar thing where it's like, hey, look at all these fun minigames you can do. You can go mini-golfing. You can play laser tag. You can do all this wacky, zany stuff. Isn't that so cool that you can play all these crazy minigames inside this Pizzaplex? It's like, not if they don't work. Because fundamentally, it's just the same thing as FNAF VR in terms of it's a collection of minigames. There's extra steps involved in getting to them, and because they've taken the extra steps to, you know, to expand the world and make it all function in this open world, it comes at the expense of the actual cohesiveness and functionality of said world. Because they have to make the game at this bigger scale, it means that they have to also make expenses and cut corners with the game to get it playable, and it doesn't work because clearly the amount of glitches has shown that that expanding the game to that degree was not in their best interest. And again, fundamentally, it doesn't even feel like FNAF anymore because part of what the charm of those games were their simplicity, and that you are powerless and helpless in this environment, and all you can do is just try to manage your power as best you can to survive against the animatronics. But as soon as you introduce, like, Security Breach literally gives you a phas gun that you can zap animatronics with to stun them. So once you give that kind of power to the player, all the challenge and horror is stripped away, because you can always fight back, against the animatronics now. Or at least, you theoretically should be able to fight back against them, if it worked half the goddamn time! But I digress. It's fine. There is 2030. Alright, I forgot. Of course, Toy Story 4 is being made in 2030. Sorry, Toy Story 5 is being made in 2030. How could I forget? The prophets of the Toy Story subreddit have foretold that there's going to be Toy Story 5 in 2030. Imagine if that actually happens. Can you imagine if they actually make it in 2030? I think my face would just be like the Sokka in Avatar: The Last Airbender, when he's in the cave at the beginning of Season 3, the clip I always use in my videos where he's just stunned to silence after Aang tells him about his antics at school, and he's just stunned to silence. That'd be my face if that ever happens. Why the obsession with comparing different pieces of shit? Well, I mean, I think there's some merit to be had there. Like, because it's interesting to think of, because when we consider, when we have such harsh criticisms to levy against these things, one of them is naturally going to be worse than the other. So it's interesting to think, given all these games have to offer, which one comes out better at the end of the day. So I think there's an interesting discussion to be had there. You take lag over glitches any day? Well, that depends, because, like, for a visual novel, lag doesn't necessarily matter all that much, right? Because their fast reaction times are not a necessary part of the gameplay. But if Halo Infinite was lagging constantly, that would be awful, because that game's all about fast reaction times and, being able to respond quickly to situations and adjust your strategy on the fly. And if the game's constantly lagging, it makes it kind of hard to do that. So, I think it's situational. It also depends on the quality and severity of the glitches. Like, if it's just textures popping, then that's one thing, but if it's game mechanics not functioning like Security Breach, that's another thing. I think there's some nuance to be had there. Trials and Tribulations vs. Greatest Attorney 2 Resolve. Trials and Tribulations, because Greatest Attorney 2 has the Memoirs of a Clouded Kokoro, which I genuinely despise that case. Like, I actually hate that case. So, I don't hate any cases from Trials and Tribulations. Recipe for Turnabout is undoubtedly the weakest of the bunch, but it's not a bad case by any means. It does a lot of stuff really, really well, and it's a lot of fun to do. Like, the worst you'll get from Trials and Tribulations is a pretty good case. The worst you get in Greatest Attorney 2 is a horrible case. So, I would still, I think I cried harder at the end of Greatest Attorney 2 than I did at the end of Trials and Tribulations. But there's a greater consistency of quality in Trials and Tribulations than there is in Greatest Attorney 2. But they're both still incredible games, and you should play both of them. You should play both the original trilogy and the Chronicles to completion, because they're both incredible. Security Breach is supposed to be scary, which is hilarious. Because it sounds kind of arrogant to be like, well, I never got scared at any point during my playthrough. But it's like, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I did not feel any sense of dread at any point during that during my playthrough. I felt frustrated and annoyed and angry because the game wasn't working. But I never felt, like, there was never a point where I was like, ooh, spooky atmosphere, spooky, ooh. I was just I was in a perpetual state of annoyance. So, Toy Story 5, Josh Cooley strikes back. Yeah, thankfully we're safe from the likes of Josh Cooley, because he's working on, I think he's working on a Transformers movie now, which I'm sure is going to be so good, because Transformers movies have such a great track record of being just the best, the peak of cinema. So, yeah, I think it's, I'll check right now between these games, to see what he's working on right now. Currently, he is... the upcoming projects. Okay, he's right. He's working on a Tower of Terror movie, which I'm sure is going to be great. And the Little Monsters movie we don't know anything about. I think he's working on Transformers. I'm not sure, though. I'll also look in more depth later. But I could have sworn I remembered him saying something about that at some point. You think Grace Attorney is better from a technical standpoint? If you mean, like, in terms of the functionality of the game, I think they're both... I didn't experience any glitches playing either the Trilogy or the Chronicles. That's not to say they don't exist, because people say security breach. People play security breach and say, well, I didn't find any glitches. It's like, okay, cool, they still exist. So I'm not going to say that there aren't any glitches in either of those collections. I just didn't experience any, so I can't comment on that. But, I mean, obviously Grace Attorney is more... a more modern game in that instead of being 2D sprites, it's a fully 3D realized world with 3D character models and backgrounds and environments and all that. And you know, smoother, fully fledged animations, and the presentation is of a higher quality than the original trilogy. But as far as storytelling is concerned, it's hard to pick, because overall, if you just look at the big picture between both those games, it's hard to pick, because they both have such cohesive, overarching narratives between all the characters and all the payoffs they get. So it's hard for me to judge, because I love both those stories so much, and it just further solidifies my belief that Shuji Kumi is a genius, a literary genius, and I have endless respect for that man. And I look forward to seeing what else he makes in the future. But, you know, I think... If we take all the games into consideration as like all the cases as a whole, I think that the original trilogy probably still comes out on top. But it wouldn't be my much. Like, Trials and Tribulations is definitely a better game than Grace Attorney 2, if only because of the second case of Grace Attorney 2. But just if we group the trilogy together and then compare it against the Chronicles groups together, that's a hard pick for me. I would have to think long and hard about which game is better from purely storytelling perspective, because I don't know that I could earnestly answer that, because it's really hard for me to pick one over the other, because they're both so well written all around. But I will I'll tentatively say the trilogy, tentatively. Okay. Recipe for Turnabout, you understand a liking because of Gene, but you can see preferring either. Oh, I definitely think that like, you're allowed to dislike any character you wish, but in terms of the actual logic of the case, now it's all orchestrated. It functions really well. You love the dynamics of the Grace Attorney cast so much they felt like a family. Yeah, in terms of just characters, that's even harder to pick, because I love the dynamic that Ryunosuke Susato, Airlock, and Iris have as a little crime-solving family. I love that dynamic they share together. But then on the other end of the spectrum, in the original trilogy, I love the dynamic of the original 6 of Phoenix, Maya, Pearl, the trio they have, Phoenix and Edgeworth, and that they have when Larry comes into the mix with them as well. Gumshoe is a classic character, Francisca. Like that... I love looking at that final image at the end of Trials and Tribulations, that the painting Larry does of Phoenix, Maya, Pearl, Edgeworth, and Siska, and Gumshoe. It's so wholesome to see the heroes of the original trilogy all together, painted by Larry, who finally found something he's good at in life. So it's really hard for me to call, character-wise. You mean better and more gameplay functionalities? Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the gameplay is fundamentally the same. The only difference is that it has an autoplay mode and a game journalist mode. I mean, unless you want to talk about the actual stuff like the Dance of Deduction. Dance of Deduction, I don't know that technically there's anything that really stands out in that regard. I mean, it's cool to see, but that would fall into the presentation. the reason why Dance of Deduction is so cool isn't because you have to point things out, because it's not really all that hard to do the Dance of Deductions. What makes those sections so awesome to do is the presentation of the dance itself, and like seeing all the dance moves they do and all that stuff like that. That's what makes those things so appealing to watch, not the actual gameplay of it. As far as better soundtrack is concerned, I find it hard to compare them because the original trilogy soundtrack is more synthetic. It's you know, just the actual instrumentation of those tracks is very synthetic in its nature, whereas the Chronicles is a full orchestra, much like Dual Destinies was. So it's hard to probably compare them, but they're both eargasmic soundtracks to listen to. So I don't know that I could pick one. But then again, comparing music has never been just analyzing music in general has never been my forte. It's never been something that I'm particularly proficient at. I don't know why I used the mushroom, but that was dumb. I've never been very proficient at assessing the quality of music from a perspective of like music theory and stuff like that. It's never my forte has never been with that. I think I've mentioned this before many times, but I enjoy listening to them both, and they both perfectly fit the tone of the style of story they're both going for. And I saw someone sent another super chat, which is awesome. Thank you so much for the support on this stream. I'll read your super chat as soon as we're done with this race, and I'll see what you have to say. I think we're coming up on the end of the race, so I'll read your super chat in just a moment, Russell. Just a bit more to go, and then we can see. I'll read your message. I believe, yeah, because the finish line's right around the corner here. So just a quick glide across the finish line, and I will read your super. Oh, I got to start my lighting. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay. You like Dual Destinies, Grace Attorney 2, and Spirit of Justice more than, I'm assuming you meant to say, Trial and Tribulations. You have more fun with them. You are more than welcome to have more fun with them. You're allowed to have fun with whatever you wish. I feel like I was too harsh on Turnabout for Tomorrow and Memoirs of Clouded Kokoro. Well, Turnabout for Tomorrow isn't bad. It's just, I mean, the whole thing with the robot uprising is really weird. Phoenix and Edge facing up against each other is an awesome moment that I praised a lot when it happened. It's just that it's a very anticlimactic finish. Like, the whole game was building up to the Phantom, and the reveal of his identity is just, I mean, nailing him and cornering him is cool, and the final shot of Phoenix, Athena, and Apollo is awesome, but it's just really, the way he goes down in his final confrontation is really anticlimactic. But as for Clouded Kokoro, that case just makes no goddamn sense. It wastes so much time going on about the stupid gas problems. That there's so much padded content in that case. I don't like Shame Spear at all, but I'm not gonna hold it against the game because that's just personal preference. The actual functionality of that case just doesn't hold up. The only scary part of Security Breach is the 5 FPS frame drops. No, the scary part of Security Breach is fearing that you're gonna clip through the ground at any moment and soft lock yourself and lose hours of progress. Or that your game's gonna crash halfway through and lose hours of progress. That's, I guess, if you want to get pedantic enough, you could say that's what makes the game
That's what makes the game truly scary. It breaks the mold of a horror game in that the animatronics themselves are not scary, so it subverts your expectations in that regard, but it still maintains a truly horrific atmosphere because you never know when you're gonna glitch outside the map. You never know when you're gonna get soft-locked, and you never know when your game is going to hard lock and crash multiple times in a row, making it literally impossible for you to beat the game. That is true horror.
The fact that I can... Given some of the videos I've seen, I could honestly see someone making a video like that. Honestly, I could. It wouldn't surprise me if someone said something to that effect. But yeah, that's my impression of a typical video essayist on YouTube. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm here all week. I mean, I'm not, but I'm here for today. So there's that, I guess. Let's try to green shell snipe. I'm so sorry. I thought I missed that green shell snipe. I didn't think that was gonna work out of the well, but somehow it did. Okay, cool. I will check chat again in just a second. The race should be almost finished here in a second. But yeah, I could make that parody video of being like, Security Breach is true horror because of all the technical reasons I just listed. I could absolutely... lightning strikes are the most annoying thing in the world. I could absolutely make that video, but I never would, just because I wouldn't have the... I don't have the desire to be that deliberately parody with myself. 3D evidence item investigation will introduced later on after trials relate. So that's maybe, but that's also never required in the original trilogy. Like that's not something you'd ever need to do. So it's not really. That's like to a similar effect in Halo Infinite. You have a grapple shot. So you can say it's more technically advanced than Combat Evolved because you don't have a grapple shot there, but the levels are also designed around it, in much the same way that the cases in Greatest Attorney Chronicles are designed around being able to examine an object in 3 dimensions, much like Rise from the Ashes is in the first game. Dance of Deduction. So like I said, Dance of Deduction is only... Like, the appeal there is the actual technical presentation of the camera and the cinematography, which falls into presentation, not gameplay. Autoplay, I mentioned that one already. 3D camera movements, that's more of a subtle thing. The difference between moving your cursor around versus actually panning your view around the room is ultimately negligible in the end. Didn't know Shiny Man was in the call. Yeah, that's... I could see him saying that. I could absolutely see him saying that. Ace Attorney is a great franchise overall. Yeah, Ace Attorney is a very exceptional game franchise that I hope we see continue into the future. Because according to the Capcom leak, they are working on Ace Attorney 7 and they're contemplating porting Apollo Justice, Dual Destiny Spirit of Justice to the Switch. I hope they do. I hope that comes through and that they do actually commit to releasing those games. I don't know if we'll ever see it, but I hope we do. Drifted the wrong way. I really hope we see more of that series in the future, because I don't think it's much of a surprise that I'm a major fan of Ace Attorney, and I came on the series really quickly. Like I consumed 15 years worth of content over the course of a few months, and then mopped up what I missed with Investigations 2 and the crossover afterwards, just in time for the Chronicles to come out. So hopefully, because I'm pretty sure it's sold really well, so I'm hopefully Capcom sees that as an excuse to be like, hey, people love this series. We should probably give them more of this series. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Hopefully. And again, if the league is to be believed, then we can expect that we will get more Ace Attorney content in the future. But it all depends on how. Because I think there was a question, they sent out a survey after the Chronicles released asking people's impressions on what they liked and disliked and if they thought the game was good and if they would recommend it to people in the future. And one of the questions was, if there was another Ace Attorney game, would you play it? And I think that was used as a metric to determine whether they would consider giving the green light on future Ace Attorney projects, which hopefully they took, oh, come on. Hopefully they took that into account seriously and we're actually going to see that come through to fruition later this year. Or if not later this year, then just some point in the future. If you do autoplay, you won't in any of the acolytes. I think you mean story mode. Because autoplay just progresses the text for you, but it doesn't present any of the evidence for you. I think you mean story mode, because story mode, I'm pretty sure, does actually disable your ability to earn the accolades. But autoplay, I'm pretty sure, is just there in much the same way that Persona 5's auto text advanced feature is there. Views are extremely positive. Yeah, and deservedly so. I mean, I can see, because I've read some of the Steam reviews, and the general consensus is that it's a slow burn to a phenomenal payoff, which is accurate. It is a very, very slow burn. Like, it takes a while for things to pick up the pace. And that's what kind of put me off initially. Like, initially, I was kind of iffy about the Chronicles, because, the first case was great. Second case, bit of a letdown. Third case ended weird. Fourth case is eh. So, the first game is a bit of a slog to get through, but the characters were just so intriguing and endearing that it made me want to stick through to the end, and I'm glad I did, because the second game paid off all the setups and just blew me away in every discernible way. And because that's that's kind of what happened originally, is when the first game came out, it was not well received. A lot of people didn't like the first Greatest Attorney game because it just had left so many things hanging, and also because cases 2 through 4 are not stellar. So, yeah, I can see why it wouldn't be very well received initially. Which, you know, it sucks because I think it made people skip out on the second game, because I'm pretty sure the second game sold even worse in Japan than the first game, which I'm assuming has a lot to do with the fact that the Greatest Attorney 1 fell short of expectations, which is unfortunate because when you play it, the full story, start to finish, is such a phenomenal payoff from all the setups that were laid all along the way. So I'm glad I stuck through, because I never contemplated stopping playing. Like, I never had a thought to myself, like, oh, this isn't good, I should stop playing. I always intended to see it through to the very end, so there was never a point where I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Whereas I hit that point with several other games I played last year. But I was a little underwhelmed by the first game. Now, having said that, I also kind of expected that to happen, because the general consensus I heard from people was, okay, the first game isn't that great, but game 2 is out of this world. So that, it kind of met my... I wasn't necessarily surprised by it, but I was still underwhelmed by it, mainly just because the first case was so good that I was hoping it would be able to maintain that consistent level of quality for the rest of the game. Sadly, it was not, but at least it ended well. At least the 5th case made up for the shortcomings of the 2nd through 4th cases. But at least it did a good job of establishing its characters and their dynamic, which was important to lay the groundwork for the sequel, because the sequel is much more focused on fleshing out the backstory of all the what's gone wrong, and the story of the Asogi Papers and the jailbreak and everything that happened with the professor and the Hound of Bakersville and all that. So yeah, it was important to lay that groundwork in the first game so that it could really shine later on. In kind of the same way that Combat Evolved doesn't have much character work for Chief Cortana or anybody, but it establishes the fundamentals of the world building and what the Halo rings are all about, so that in Halo 2 they can go into more depth with their relationships and the characters themselves and the Arbiter and the political interweavings of the Covenant and their belief system and all that. So it's important to lay that solid foundation to pay it off later. Man, Russell's on fire with the super chats today. Matrix 4, Apollo Justice, Toy Story 4, you see a problem with 4th installments. Yeah, 4th installments after a concluded trilogy don't tend to end well. And that's in the case of the Matrix original trilogy, granted I haven't seen 2 or 3. I have seen the first Matrix movie, and it's great. But from what I've heard, Matrix 2 and Matrix 3 are not incredible movies, as an understatement. So, yeah, I can understand that. Grayson is still over 700k. Okay, so maybe I think what I heard is that the Grace Attorney 1 was poorly received, but the second game is the one that sold poorly because of the poor reception to the first one. Or unless you mean the Chronicles, not the original games. I don't know if you're referring to the Chronicles or the original games, but either way. Batman and Robin 2, so I haven't watched those movies in a long time, but I liked them as a kid, but that's because when you're a kid, your standards are kind of non-existent. I know that if I watched Batman and Robin today, I would probably hate it. Well, actually, maybe not. I don't know if I'd hate it. I'd probably laugh at it because of how utterly... Because I know what happens in it. Like, I've seen clips of it as an adult, having watched it as a kid, and I'm like, oh yeah, Bat Credit Card is a thing that happened. The acting is a thing that happened. And a bunch of other wacky, insane... this is... The acting and delivery of a lot of those lines, and just the plot itself is just a mess all around, so... I probably would come away thinking it's horrible if I watched it today, but I also think I would laugh hysterically if I ever did, because I'm aware of how insane the movie is and how easy it is to make fun of it. It's a movie that's very easy to laugh at with how horrible it is, which is good, because because Toy Story 4 is not a movie I could ever laugh at. I could never laugh at Toy Story 4 because there's just no it's painful in how bad it is, but some movies are ones where you can watch and just laugh at the insanity, which are the best kind. Like, for instance, when Black Widow came out, and Natasha smashed her face into the desk, I had to fight really hard to keep that laughter inside, because I don't like to laugh and move. Well, I mean, so obviously laughing in theaters is fine when there's a joke to be told, but you never want to be that one guy that's laughing at something that makes no sense when everyone else is having a good time. I mean, there's some times where everyone in the theater is unanimously laughing at something because everyone acknowledges how crap it is, but that's very rare. More often than not, what will happen is that everyone else will be having a good time, and then you'll be the one guy that could ruin it for everyone. So I always fight to keep the laughter contained inside, so that I don't ruin it for anybody else. But I had to fight real hard that day, because good Lord Almighty, does that scene make no sense at all? It's just a hilarious image to have, or not. It's a hilarious clip to have for that movie. The time gap from 2015 to 2017, not 2019, didn't help either. I imagine, yeah, that probably had. Well, that's nothing compared to the gap between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, but yeah, it certainly wouldn't help things. Grace Attorney 1 had mostly weak mysteries, but great character work. It's a perfectly fine Attorney game, but combined with the second game, it's truly an experience. Yeah, so it's, like, Grace Attorney 1, I would still rank that overall as good, but compared to the second, it pales in comparison. And more importantly, when you combine it up with Grace Attorney 2, that's when you have something truly exceptional. Same thing with Justice for All. Justice for All is not a great Ace Attorney game, because Case 1 is crap, Case 2 is great, Case 3 is horrendous, Case 4 is exceptional, so it balances out to be higher highs and lower lows, but, so it's not an overall great game, but when you combine it up with Trials and Tribulations, and then the setups in Justice for All pay off in Trials and Tribulations, that's when you have something that's just above and beyond. So there's that. Do I want to change this up at all? I'm feeling pretty confident about my setup here. Do I want to change it up at all? Nah, I'm good with what I have. Okay. Let's go again. Grace Attorney 2 Resolve was planned to have 2 games, not 1. We should have gotten 3 games, not 2. Do you think it's better that we got 2 games, or do you think that having 3 games might have been even better? I think it's pointless to speculate about something that we'll never know about. For as a comparison to Halo, Halo 2 was originally supposed to have more levels than it did. Like, there was originally going to be a much more extended third. That's the reason why the game stops dead in its tracks when Chief says, "Sir, finishing this fight." Because there was supposed to be more after that, and not just a cut to black and then the game ends. But then that evolved into Halo 3, and I believe Halo 3's story is much more elaborate and different than what was originally intended, in much the same way that Halo Infinite is not the original story for Halo 6, because they were originally going to actually continue on with the created storyline with Cortana being evil. Thankfully they didn't, because it would have been a horrible idea to continue that storyline. But the thing is, we'll never know what the original Halo 2 ending was going to be, and we'll never know what Halo 6 was originally going to look like unless a developer outright says this is what the original plan was going to be. So, it's kind of, I don't think it's very much worthwhile to speculate as to what it was going to originally be. I think Shuji Kumi also said that originally he condensed all his plans for a Phoenix Wright trilogy into just the first game, in that I think he said something to the effect of that Turnabout Goodbyes would have been the ultimate final conclusion. Like, that would have been the payoff that you worked to over the course of multiple games. But then he made that the finale of his first game because he didn't know if the game would succeed, and he just had to condense all his ideas into one game. So it's kind of pointless to speculate as to what would have become of the series had it gotten the extra games that it did. Whereas something like Toy Story 4, we can absolutely speculate as to what it was going to be because we have evidence showing, like, this was the original ending that was going to be in the movie. We have clips, we have storyboarded animatics of what this game was supposed to be, and then it was changed by Josh Cooley because he hates his characters. So, yeah, that's that. So that's my stance on there. Generally speaking, it's more time to flesh out characters is never a bad thing. But the way it worked with the dual game setup in Chronicles worked really well. So I don't think we needed a 30. I'll say this: I don't it doesn't feel like if you had told me it was planned as a duology and not as a trilogy, I would have believed you because the game is that cohesive and it works that well together to the point where it doesn't feel like there's a game missing, you know? It doesn't feel like you play the duology and you're like, well, there should have been another game here to explain all these things. It doesn't feel like that because it all works together just so well. So that's... If we got a third game, it would have been interesting to see what became of it, but it would not have been a necessity for the game's success to have that third game. Because the story that was told tied up all the loose ends and had all the setups and payoffs that were appropriate. Except for one or two minor things that I pointed out, but they were ultimately meaningless in the grand scheme of things. All the major points that needed to be resolved by the end of the game were resolved, which is what matters most, is that they hit all the major points they needed to. That was very rude. Okay. Oh, dear God. That was... Oh, really? That was just a cavalcade of everything going wrong all at once. How do I think the stream will last? We'll probably go another hour or so. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a little over an hour. I don't want to spend too long doing this today because I do have some stuff I want to attend to, and then, like I said, there's also some personal stuff that I need to handle that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. So it probably won't be as long as my other streams, but I think I can probably commit to probably another hour, and then I'll call it off for the stream. Though we won't be doing anything like the 8-hour Halo 2 stream. That's not going to happen. Was Phoenix acting a bit out of character in Tournament Big Top? He seemed to be more annoyed even with Maya. As someone else just mentioned, everyone was out of character in Big Top. Just everybody. Big Top all around is just a cavalcade of insanity in terms of both characters and storytelling. Oh, wait, did we finally get it? Hey, look at that. We finally got Yoshi. I've been voting for Yoshi Valley forever. We finally got it. Thankfully. Since the beginning of the stream, I've been trying to get Yoshi Valley in here. We finally got it. I mean, I voted for Sunshine Airport a couple times, but we finally get to race on Yoshi Valley. I've been wanting to race in this course ever since I did the one, ever since we played the Mario Kart 64 version. Wait, what the hell? Okay, so I just got a notification for something from the Halo channel. Well, I guess I can check that now. It says, official panel Mega Halo Day 2022. I don't know what the hell that is, but it sounds like something I should probably watch. I don't, if one of you who's not playing could check up to see what that is, I honestly don't know. The official Halo YouTube channel I got a notification that they're going live with something called the official Halo Mega Day panel. I do not know what the hell that is, but I will probably check that out after the stream is over. It sounds like something that I would probably want to watch. Also, man, it is so nice to finally be... Sure, green shell. To finally be playing Yoshi Valley with a control scheme that isn't horrendous and not falling off the map. And also, a game that can actually figure out who's in first place and what the actual order of these things is. Because that was annoying, not being able to tell what place you were actually in until the race was over. Because the Nintendo 64 couldn't actually figure out what... Because of the way the track was laid out, it couldn't figure out what order everyone was in until you already lost or won. Which is certainly annoying. Oh dear lord. Is there any Jesus Christ, is there any Super Mario Kart track that I think could be fixed in the booster pack? I think any of them could be fixed, so long as you take the time to... Except for maybe the one where the track... It affects your handling. That I don't think we should ever see again. The one where it literally makes your car harder to control because of the texture of the road itself. That we need to never see again. But other than that, every Mario Kart track that was in that game, I think, could realistically be fixed. Because I mean, we've proven until this point, every time an SNES course has been remade, except for that one in Mario Kart DS that we saw. Like I said, the one where your handling is significantly altered. Except for that one, they've all been remade well. So it's not an unfixable situation. I think they could definitely make them better if we see them. And I expect that we probably will see them in the booster pass. But the ones I really want to see are the ones from Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart Wii. Because Mario Kart 7 has a lot of really, really great tracks that just we never saw again after Mario Kart 7. So I'd love to see more of that, and just because I love Mario Kart Wii, I'd love to see more Mario Kart Wii tracks. So that's what to say about that. Okay, let me check what this Halo panel thing is. Join Rick Design Consumer Products. Oh, it's okay, never mind. I don't care about that. It's a panel focused on upcoming toys for like upcoming Halo toys. Never mind. I don't need to watch that at all because I don't care about buying Halo action figures or whatever. One plan we're gonna stay in stream. That's totally fine. I'm glad you were able to join us for as much time as you could. Hopefully, you had a good time racing. When will the next streamed LP be? Tomorrow, actually. It will be tomorrow that I stream a new game for the first time. I haven't publicly posted it yet because I kind of want to keep it a surprise. But I will, after the stream today, I will make that stream public so you all can see what my plans are for tomorrow. It shouldn't take me that long because, like I said, I don't really have time right now to stream long games. So I picked a game that people have been wanting to see for a long time. Or maybe not, but a precursor to a game people have been wanting to see for a long time that I can beat really. I think the game's like 2 to 3 hours long, so assuming I don't die a lot, which I probably won't. Well, no, I probably will, but thanks to the rewind feature, it won't be that big of a deal. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting. I should be able to beat it in like 2 to 3 hours, assuming it all goes well. And it's also a game that I've already played, not to completion. I've never beat the game before, but I did play the game as a kid, so I at least have some familiarity with it to some extent. Oh dear God! Don't do that. That's a bad idea. So we'll see how it goes. Metroid? No, 'tis not Metroid. I've never played a Metroid game before. I've always wanted to, but I have not played it before. But I do still, so everyone knows, the Metroid games are still on the agenda. I do still plan to cover Metroid in this year. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do that, both in terms of how long it'll take me to start, and how long it'll take me to actually complete all the games start to finish. But they are on the agenda. Also, that is just a calamity of shells and bullet bills and everything that could have possibly hit us right there. But, oh dear God almighty. Am I enjoying the stream? Yes, actually, I am very much enjoying the stream. This has been a lot of fun so far. This was a nice palate cleanser for what after all the pain this week has brought me. Funny how Actman, just after Actman released the video of being tired of waiting for this right stuff, got announced. So you want to hear my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory? I think he knew that was going to happen. I think he knew that was going to happen because he said in the video that he had an inside source that he knew about some of the stuff that was going to be coming out. And they always give a community update. Halo always does, like 343 always has a community update releasing on Friday. I think he knew, or at least had a very strong inclination, that they were going to announce something that day. I get that that's a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but given the fact that he did say he had an insider source in that video, I think it's not unreasonable that very easily could have been the case. Again, maybe he didn't know it definitively, but he could have used some basic deductive reasoning that, oh, it's Friday, they have a community update on Friday, and I know that this is in the works right now. They're probably going to release some kind of information. So, yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable to assume that. I should try the Mega Man games? I don't think I should try the Mega Man games. I've heard that those are brutally unfun. So I think it would be wise of me to avoid those games. You glad we got Yoshi Valley in? Yeah, I'm glad we got it too. Took a long time. We finally got to play on Yoshi Valley. Which is good. Because I'm a big fan of Yoshi Valley and all the different ways you can go. It's a very fun course. I look forward to me playing the Mega Man games. I don't think I'm going to do that. Did I say I was going to do that? I don't think I said that I was ever going to play those Mega Man games. Maybe I said I might someday in the future, but I don't think I ever committed to doing that. That's like a terrible idea. Fun if you like super brutally hard games, but you doubt I would like them. I also think I would very much not enjoy them. If only because, for as weird as a parallel as this is going to be, Scott Cawthon's, some of his favorite games of all time, I believe, are the Mega Man games, because he said before that he's able to beat, I think, Mega Man 3 Buster only. I don't know what that means, but I think he said he said that in one of his Steam posts, that was the thing he could do. So, the reason I tell you that is because the charity game he made for the Game Theorist St. Jude livestream in December of 2019 was made in the style of a Mega Man game, and I did play that, and I did not enjoy it at all. It taught me, I mean, it was fun to watch people play because there was a lot of really, really cool boss fights, and a lot of cool level design, and just upgrade systems, and music was great, and it was a fun game to see people kind of crack open and find all the secrets, but playing it, I didn't enjoy the gameplay style at all, and I imagine, because it was in the style of a Mega Man game, I don't think I would enjoy the Mega Man games at all, to be honest with you. So, not anything I'm planning on playing at any point in the future. Also, Baby Park, my favorite Mario Kart course that I've been looking forward to playing all day. I'm so glad we got to play on the infamous Baby Park. It's 7 laps long. 5 laps, I believe, was actually 5 laps long in one of the remakes. But we still got all 7 here. Ow! Bullet Bill was not, unfortunate. And you stole my banana right when I needed it, but it didn't matter because someone took the hit for me. Not gonna take this hit though. No one was around to take the red shell hit for me there. Or this one, I'm assuming. Oh nope, didn't actually hit me that time. This one's probably gonna hit me though. Jesus. Oh my god, Jesus, Lord Almighty, I hate Baby Park so much. I absolutely just, Jesus Christ. I think this might be my least favorite track in any Mario Kart game ever. Like, I actually just despise this track with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. But at least it's over. At least it's over. 6K goal playing through all the Mega Man games? No, absolutely not. I'll tell you right now, that's not going to happen. A lot of adventure stories are 3 or 4 levels long. Oh yeah, I know that they're all much shorter than, I know, because I watched a review of Sonic Adventure, like, 8 years ago, and I remember them saying that Sonic's one is the longest that goes through all the stages, and all the other characters go through, like, 5 of them, at most. Has anyone heard of the game Neo, The World Ends With You? Yes. People recommended that game to me, I don't know when. It was in one of the times that I asked people, what's a game you want to see me play? That was one of the ones that was recommended, so I have heard of it. But I haven't played it. If a game is too much unfair, it is more frustrating than fun. Straw Hut TV, I completely agree. Is Cave Store still on the Let's Play list? At some point in the future, possibly. But I don't know, it's not a priority for me at this point in time. There's other games I want to cover before I do that. So, I don't want to discount it. Ideally, I'd like to at some point get to all the games that are recommended, but that's unrealistic of me to expect. So, I want to at least cover as many as I can, and Cave Story is one that I've heard a lot of buzz about, and it being really good. So it's certainly something I want to check out at some point, just I have no expectations for when that's going to happen. Beating a Mega Man game without switching weapons requires skill and a lot of patience. Is that what Buster Only means? Does Buster Only mean you only use the original weapon that you get at the beginning and you don't swap it out? In which case, that sounds very challenging. Because that's actually one of the things in Freddy in Space, and because FNAF World, update 2 of FNAF World, one of the mini games was called Freddy in Space, and I think that was also in the style of Mega Man. Honestly, I guess I should take back what I said earlier, because I did actually enjoy the first Freddy in Space that was available as a mini game in FNAF World Update 2. Just not the second game. But one of the challenges you have to do in FNAF World Update 2 is you have to beat the game only using the first weapon you get and not using any of the upgrades, which is hard as hell. I mean, I have a guide for it on the channel. I have a walkthrough for showing how to beat that game without any of the upgrades. And it's hard to do, but it's kind of a nice challenge. So I imagine that doing in the actual Mega Man games is even harder than that. How's it going? It's going great, Rumble Legend. I am having a great time playing Mario Kart with the community right now, and after the week I've had, this is exactly what I needed to take my mind off everything that's happening right now. This has been a grand old time. And it'll probably be the last time we do it before the booster pack, or the booster pass comes out, so it'll be a, ow. It's kind of a, I don't know if bittersweet's the right word, but it's the last time we'll be able to play Mario Kart in this form as a community before the booster pass comes out and we get all the new tracks, and then we'll get even more new tracks as the years go by. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. Okay. There is no Mega Man X7, they skipped to X8. That's interesting. Alright then. Yes, this is probably going to be the last group of races we do. We might do one more short one of like 4 races after this, but this will probably be the last full one we do before we call this, because I do have some stuff I gotta get to today. We'll have to wait and see. They were joking? Oh. Oh, okay. X7 sucks hard. I see now. Understanding has descended upon me. If I had to take a guess, what year I think Mario Kart 9 would release? Whenever Nintendo makes a new console. Which might not be for a long time, because the Switch has sold so well, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold so well, that I can see them just making DLC for it indefinitely. But I imagine that when they eventually make a new console, they'll probably make a new Mario Kart game for it then, in much the same way that they'll probably make a new Smash game when they make a new console. But when that will be, I have no idea. It could be maybe decades is a bit of a bit, but it'd probably be years from now by the time we ever get anything like that. And I am perfectly content. Like I said, I don't think they can top this. In terms of core handling of the vehicles, I do not think they can top how Mario Kart 8 feels to play. So, I am more than happy to see them just constantly update this game for the foreseeable future. That is totally okay in my book. But realistically, it'll probably be whenever we get a new console. Which who knows when that's going to happen. It's the transition 3D game. Ooh, so it's the awkward one. Oh, dear lord. Okay, this mistake's been made here. Oh, really? I used it. Really? I used the Super Horn one shell too early. That's awesome. That's great. Alright then. That was not ideal. That was not how that was supposed to go at all. But it's fine. Mega Man X7 is the worst Mega Man game ever released. So I've been told as of about 5 minutes ago. It seems like that's the game people have the most amount of issues with. So, who knows? I don't think I'll ever play. I think someone, because like I said, someone did recommend me to play the Mega Man games. I just don't think I ever will. They just don't sound like something that'd be up my alley to even a minor degree. Ow. So, oh, Jesus Christ, it's just constant lightning strikes. Awkward is one way to describe it. X6 sucks pretty goddamn hard too. I have nothing insightful to offer for a discussion about the quality of Mega Man games, because I know absolutely nothing about even a single one of them. So, you'll have to carry on the discussion without me, because I have nothing. Like I said, the closest I ever came to Mega Man was in the two strangest places I could have. FNAF World, there was a Mega Man style game in the style of Freddy in Space, and then I of course played Freddy in Space 2 for the St. Jude charity stream. And then Free Guy, I may not play Mega Man, but I know the Mega Man Buster when I see it. And that was the Mega Man Buster, so I saw that and was annoyed on behalf of Mega Man fans. It's like, oh, just stop now. Because it's on par with showing the Halo Scorpion in Free Guy as well. Because, I mean, when I first saw the Scorpion, I was like, oh, really? That's what you're gonna do? You're just gonna be like... You're just gonna show off all the... I mean, no, sorry. When I first saw the Scorpion, I was actually pleased... Well, not pleased with it, but I was like, oh, okay. That's a cool little Easter egg, you know, to show off people who really want to... show off for the Halo fans viewing the game. That's a pretty cool thing to show off. Then I saw a million more Easter eggs, and I'm like, oh, you're just pandering to people now. Got it. After playing Sonic Adventure 2, will I consider watching Sonic X the anime? I wouldn't count on it. Hey, Sunshine Airport, finally. I wouldn't count on it. But I just don't really... I mean, I know the theme song of Gotta Go Fast, because I've listened to Name Wants to Battle's cover of Gotta Go Fast, and it's a really awesome song, but I don't know that I'll ever watch the anime. That doesn't... I mean, the only reason I really watched the Danganronpa 3 anime was because I needed to for my coverage of the Danganronpa series. The only reason I watched Ace Attorney anime is because I felt obligated to, but I don't feel that same level of obligation for Sonic X. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Free Guy is just pandering. Yeah, that's all the movie is. It's just it's pandering to people who love video games. Like, hey, look at that cool look at the portal gun. Look at the Mega Man Buster. Look at all these cool things. Don't you love all these things from these better pieces of work so much? And then it's pandering and also seemingly an active dislike of people who it's like, hey, be whatever you want. That the theme is be whatever you want, do whatever you want. Also, don't play first-person shooter games. Never do that. That's a bad thing. Also, here's the Halo Scorpion. Also, here's the Halo Warthog. Also, here's the Halo Mantis. By the way, first-person shooter games are awful and you shouldn't play them. But also, look at all this Halo stuff with absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever, and it boggles the mind. Boggles my mind how anyone was like, did no one, guys, okay, cool. I guess no one had any self-awareness when they were making that movie. So yeah, I mean, you've all seen my video, or at least I assume most of you have. You've seen my video on Free Guy. You know why it sucks. It didn't stick with me long. I really only retained Free Guy's intel for as long as I needed to, because I needed to because I knew I wanted to make a video about it. Whereas Toy Story 4 is going to stick with me for forever. I'm never going to be able to purge that film from my memory because of how long I spend looking at it in the editing timeline. It's like every second of that film is burned into my memory, unfortunately. But Free Guy, that's quickly left my mental space. I've moved on from it. But my video's always there, so if ever anyone asks, what? You hate Free Guy? But why? I can just paste my video. And that's kind of why I'm making an Apollo Justice video, so that if ever anyone says, why do you hate Apollo Justice? Or anything like that, I can just be like, hey, go watch this video and you can see for yourself. It's another reason, like, I can't link my entire Let's Play to it, to anybody who asks that question. Also because I imagine a lot of people won't be a fan of my general attitude in that series. Whereas with my critique, I'm hoping to make it more palatable to a wider audience, so that more people can understand why I don't like the game as much as I do. So, is that, I suppose. You genuinely enjoyed Danganronpa 3 anime, but the Ultra Despair Girls conclusion is god-awful. So, I had fun laughing at it towards the beginning of the series. Like, the first two... Like, I'd say the first 4 episodes, I laughed a lot. Like, when there's just a giant dog that appears out of nowhere, that's one where I go, oh, okay, we've just gone off the rails at this point. And I could not contain my laughter when that happened because it was just so insane. But once they started dealing damage to Junko's character and the Chiaki's death pissed me off to no end. The whole how the world fell to despair pissed me off to no end. And then the final conclusion to Ultra Despair Girls also made me want to break something. And just the general conclusion all, yes, they all got a happy ending, which is nice, but they didn't earn it because they didn't actually fix anything. It abandoned the villain of the original series and just created some other random bullshit that wasn't even coherent at all. So, it was painful. Which is, should we be who we want, or are we all for playing first-person shooters? That is for you to decide, my friend, because the makers of the movie still not going to tell you, because they don't know. Their theme is directly contradictory to the actions. It's like, hey, be whoever you want, but also, people who play these really violent first-person shooter games are nothing but sociopathic man-children, and if you like those games, then you're one of them. So, it doesn't understand what's happening in its own script, which is not the first time we've seen it happen in a movie. But it doesn't make it any less frustrating the more we see it. And man, did this course get such a nice fresh coat of paint after playing the original Nintendo 64 version. It is so refreshing to be able to play this and not spend 7 minutes in the same course Granted, they might have gone too far in the opposite direction, in that now it's over before you can even blink, especially on 200cc. 200cc Rainbow Road on Nintendo 64 is over in the blink of an eye. But I'd much prefer that than I would the one in Nintendo 64 where it's like it's over before it even begins. Oh, I should have gone over the edge there. That was way too close. Now, that would have killed me in Super Mario Kart, because one tiny part of me was off the edge, therefore I should have just fallen through the map, but thankfully it didn't happen this time. Oh, one more thing. About the booster pass, I hope we never see Double Dash Rainbow Road again. I hope we never see that course again. I hate that Rainbow Road. I mean, I'm better at it now. Now that I know to brace for that one specific corner, I'm much better at it than I was when I first did my Let's Play. But I still never want to see it again. Unless they fix it, which I guess they can fix it. But as is, I'm not looking forward to seeing that one ever again. Okay. Oh, dear lord. I think I got second? Okay, I just barely got second there. Mukuro being in love with Junko pissed you off a lot. You give us one woman who's in love with another woman, it's an incest. Yeah, that has always pissed me the hell off. Just to know, there was the same thing in Zero Time Dilemma, where I was in support of Diana and Fi, and then it's like, oh, actually, they're family. It's like, oh, thanks, Spike Chunsoft. Fuck off. And the same thing, like, they have with Mahiru and Candace. I genuinely don't remember her name, but it's the girl I named Candace in my series, whatever her name was. The one who dies is, for lack of a, sorry, not the one who dies, the one who killed her friend, you know who I mean. It's the girl who I named Candace. The one who Mahiru is implied to have feelings with, and then they're like, actually, fuck off. That happens a lot, unfortunately. That was also Paradox. Yeah, also, it made no goddamn sense. Let's also not forget it made no goddamn sense at all. Wario Coliseum from Double Dash showed that 2-lap courses work. There could have been a good alternative for Nintendo 64, Rainbow Road, and Mario Kart 8. Possibly. Maybe make the track a little bit shorter, like slightly, just to make it a little more bearable, but I think that could have been an alternative, yeah. If you go now, this is fun. You look forward to playing with me when the Boost Pass comes out. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you were able to make it today, and hopefully you enjoyed the stream. The best we got was Tenko, but she just died. Yeah, no, she just... That's happened an unusually, like, an annoyingly large amount of time where I ship these characters, and then it's like, actually, no, they're either dead, or they are actually, or it's incest. Like, fuck off. It's pissed me off a lot over the past few years. Am I gonna play the Sonic handheld games? Probably not. I haven't definitively decided that yet, but I'm not planning on it for the time being. So, who knows? Alright, I think I'll do one more short race. I think we'll do another set of... We'll do 6 races. We'll do one set of 6 races, and then I'll probably call it for the video stream. Coyote dead. Yeah, she's just dead. It's a running thread you can track through all the... Oh, I didn't want to vote for Sunshine Airport again. That was my bad. I did not mean to vote for Sunshine Airport again. That was entirely my fault. I didn't want to vote for that. Oh, and then there's also the thing in towards the end of the Spare arc where they only reveal that whatever Matt's real name was revealed to be gay at the last possible second. That, like, they pretended that he was in love with Athena, Psychopath, and not the Steel Samurai until the absolute last possible second. And then once they do, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I hate that show so much. Juzu and Munakana, is that their names? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you, honestly. Because I only know their names by the nicknames I've given them. Like, I know Veruca's name is really Veruca because I misheard it the first time, but I have no fucking clue what her boyfriend's name is. I don't know what Corona's name is, or any of the other characters. I only know them by their nickname, and not by their actual name. So, yeah. Yeah, but that final, I mean, mechanically it makes no sense as to how that would even be a threat. But also just the way that was handled just annoying. There's not much in Danganronpa 3 that I didn't have issue with, in case you couldn't tell. That's why I made a 12-episode series about it. But I guess, the scene where Kyoko is defending Makoto to John Lasseter, whatever his actual character name is, the animator. The scene where Makoto, Hina, and Kyoko are there, and also John Lasseter's there, but who cares? To have a moment of silence, or not silence, but a moment to reconcile and just talk with each other. And then the moment where they think Kyoko is dead. Those are all great scenes. Unfortunately, the last one doesn't matter at all because it's revealed that she's actually not dead the whole time at the end of the show, and it's just like, why did you do that? Because that makes no goddamn sense at all. Like, first of all, it's such a cheap thing to be like, oh, at the last second, she's actually not dead. Whoa! And then, furthermore, for the mechanics of that, it doesn't make it. She shouldn't have survived that. She should not have survived that. She just should not. She should still be dead. Nothing that. You don't know what's going on. You're just here. Oh yeah. So if you're new here, like you're just watching a stream that has that we're just playing. I'm just playing with viewers who just joined randomly. Basically, we're talking about a show called Danganronpa 3: The End of Hope's Peak High School. It's really bad. You shouldn't watch it for any reason. And we're just making fun of how crap it is constantly. Because I made a series about how bad it is. Also, thank you for whoever I just pilfered the mushrooms off of, and I just used your mushrooms to boost me across the finish line. Oh, I think that was an AI. I think that was just an AI, actually. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. You wish they didn't have Hyoko die. Well, yeah, well, they should have either don't pull off the bait and switch or don't kill her at all. Either keep her dead or don't kill her or don't pretend to kill her in the first place. Don't do what they actually did, which is kill her and then it's the same thing as Chiaki, but in reverse. Because with Chiaki, they had to invent her for the sake of it, because she didn't exist before that point. Before the show, she didn't exist. She was nothing but an AI. But then at the last second, they're like, oh, actually, she was a real person the whole time. And they did that because they knew that they were going to have the emotional impact of her being revealed to be alive, and then they'd have the emotional impact of her revealing to be killed in episode 10 of the Despair arc. Inversely, with Kyoko, they knew that if they killed her, that they would get the emotional value of her death scene, and then when they bring her back in the end, they get the emotional value of her being alive the whole time. And it worked. It worked wonders, as a matter of fact, which annoys me, but because it makes no goddamn sense. Also, I feel like I've hit you with green shells a lot throughout the course of the stream. I feel like it's always you in the Koopa Clown that I hit consistently with the green shells. Because you always happen to be at just the right angle. But yeah, in case you're confused as to what's going on here, we're talking about Danganronpa 3. And if you want to learn more, I have a full series breaking down how crap that show is that you might enjoy. If you're interested in hearing someone rant about how awful a show is, that might be just the show you're looking for. Danganronpa lore hurts my head. I didn't think I felt. I had to sift through the entirety of the series just to make my Danganronpa 3 videos. And I still missed stuff. Like, there was stuff that people were mentioning in comments that I missed during my viewing. Probably because I was rushing to get out the door, so I didn't have the time to take a full comprehensive look at the entire series. So when I did my Toy Story 4 stuff, I rewatched the entire series. I rewatched Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and then I also rewatched Hawaiian Vacation, Small Fry, Party Source Rex, Toy Story of Terror, and Toy Story The Time Forgot. I rewatched the entire series in preparation for Toy Story 4, and then I rewatched Toy Story 4 and Lamp Life afterwards. I just watched everything to make sure I had as much information as I possibly could before I made my videos. But with Danganronpa 3, I didn't do that, mainly because I didn't have time to do that. Because I needed to get the series out the door in a month in a timely manner, which I surprisingly managed to do. Because the thing is, looking back, it doesn't feel like that much time. Like, it feels like I just sat down and made all those games, made all those videos just in one shot, back to back to back. But I know I didn't. I know it took me over a month, but it just, looking back, it just feels like one chunk of time that I just made them all back to back to back, and then it was finally over. So it's weird to look back on that, but yeah, I didn't have the time to replay through all the games. I just had to go from memory for a lot of the stuff, and then check back my LP if ever I was unsure about something. Okay, which one should I vote for now? Let's do this one. And then even after that, people were still pointing out things wrong with Toy Story 4. Yeah, which blows my... I actually just thought of another problem the other day. There's still to this day, there's still problems with Toy Story 4 that have yet to come to the light yet. It's crazy how the movie gets worse and worse when I think about it. Yeah, that's basically how it works. Toy Story 4 is a movie that with every time I watch it... No, every time I think about it, it gets worse. With each time I've seen, and believe me, I've seen Toy Story 4 more than any human being ever should have to, and every time I see it, I just find more and more problems with it. And I also, concurrently, every time I talk with someone about talk to a Toy Story 4 defender, or at least am reminded of a Toy Story 4 defender's existence, as in, like, I see something like, for instance, a Reddit post, my opinion of Toy Story 4 defenders gets less and less charitable. Because when you get to the point of slandering someone's character by making up lies about them, it's kind of hard for me to take you seriously and treat you as, like, it's hard for me to see that you have genuine intentions at all at that point. Also, see you later, Hugo. Thanks for tuning in. You certainly kicked our asses a lot today, and I'm glad you were able to tune in for the stream while you could. They retconned the stuff with the Izuru too. Yeah, they hardcore retconned the inception of Izuru Kamakura, which is a big part of my series, or at least the spare arc part of my series. They contradicted basically everything that happened before that point. Or if they didn't contradict it, they made it irrelevant and just did something else instead. It was quite an experience watching that show. I almost didn't believe it was real, just because, I mean, at the time I said it was the worst piece of content I ever consumed. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, that wasn't just me being inflammatory for the sake of stirring up, you know, like, to make it more clickable. It's like, oh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I did genuinely believe that, because at the time I still thought Toy Story 4 wasn't... I thought that, yes, it destroyed the characters, but at least the plot is mostly intact. But then you watch it again and you realize, oh, actually, no, nothing about this movie works at all. Its themes are in tatters, the world building is destructive, the plot doesn't make any sense, and the characters are blatantly assassinated, so... Yeah, there's nothing about that movie that works, and that's why it has surpassed Danganronpa 3. But there was a while there where it didn't, because like I said, when I first saw the movie in 2019, I hated it because of what it did to the characters. But I at least thought the plot was somewhat intact. Not anymore. Now that I've given that movie the proper decimation it deserves, there is nothing about that movie that even remotely works. And every time you think about it, you just find more and more problems. Because some movies or games, when you rewatch them or replay them, you find more cool little details that you didn't notice the first time. And even still, that happens with a lot of stuff nowadays. But it's the opposite for Toy Story 4. And Apollo Justice. I have found so many more problems with Apollo Justice that I never even thought existed. It's going to be a shell shock when that thing comes out. What is the code? So I would give it to you. The problem is that I'm just about to wrap up. So if you can join mid-game, I will show you my friend code right now. There it is. So if you're able to join mid-game, you can go for it. But this is the final batch of games we're going to do for this session. So if you can make it in the last second, I welcome you. But yeah, there it is. Also, thank you, Marie, for dealing with the spam in chat. That was getting on my nerves. You still, honestly, what is the code? I just showed you the code. Like 5 seconds ago, Ender Jilly. I just showed you the code. If you want to join, then join. If you don't, then don't. Oh, I need a vote, sorry. I choose you. Fuck me for green shells. Yeah, you just seem to always be right in my way. For every time I hit the green shell, you're always right there. At the perfect angle to hit with green shells. But a few years ago, I never thought that the worst movie I would ever watch would have the words Toy Story in it. I really never did. It's almost hard to think back to a time before Toy Story 4, for as odd as that sounds. Because for many years, I never really had to think much about it. I always just knew Toy Story 3 was the perfect conclusion to the trilogy, and that everyone had the conclusion they met. And for a long time, I just kind of expected, oh, so we'll get a few more shorts and TV specials, and for the foreseeable future, and that'll be the legacy of Toy Stories. It ended with a brilliant final installment in the trilogy, and then it had a bunch of really fun short little TV specials here and again. I never really gave much thought about it because you don't really. It's kind of the same thing with the Ace Attorney trilogy. You don't realize how much something means to you until you see it torn to shreds. And that was what happened with Toy Story 4. Was I watched it. Well, once it was announced, I was already skeptical. In terms of like, oh, why are you doing that? You're gonna Kingdom of the Crystal Skull this thing, because Last Crusade literally ended with Indy and everyone riding up into the sunset, and then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out and it was like, oh, actually, there's another adventure and it's horrible. Which, you know, it's not as destructive as Toy Story 4 because Toy Story 4 at least, sorry, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at least, it doesn't. It's a bad movie that makes no goddamn sense, but at least it doesn't assassinate anybody's characters. You can't say that for Toy Story 4, because it makes no sense, it destroys the world, its themes are contradictive, and it destroys Woody, Buzz, and Jessie beyond the point of repair. I mean, well, I could repair their characters, but it wouldn't be easy. It would take a lot of effort to do, but you could technically do it, but they're never going to do it because they don't think there's any, they don't think that there's anything that's been broken that needs to be fixed. So, yeah, I never could have expected that that Toy Story 4 would break as much as it did. Anyone watch The Batman yet? I haven't seen it, and I don't plan to. Toy Story 4 is nowhere near as emotionally heartbreaking, well-written, and clever as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Well, it's technically not incorrect, relatively speaking. You know, there's that, I guess. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is certainly better than Toy Story 4, but that's not really saying much. Indiana Jones 5 will be a thing. Will it? Because it's been delayed a lot. It's been delayed a long time. Pretty sure Harrison Ford got injured on set. I'm starting to think the movie's just never coming out, to be honest. But, you know, maybe we'll see it one day. And I'm sure it'll be bad. I don't want it to be bad. I like Harrison Ford's final Indiana Jones movie to be a good one. But can you really can you earnestly tell me you think that's going to be the case? Because I certainly don't. Anyway, have fun. Oh yeah, I guess looks like you dipped out at the last second because your battery ran out. Well, I guess we'll make this yeah, it's just. I mean, I think we had a lobby of like 10 people earlier. Now it's down to just me and Roan and E5. Which, I mean, I guess it works out because we're coming up on the end of the stream here anyway, so we only have one more to go, and then I'm gonna call it off. But what did I think of the Minecraft movie? Oh, it was great. It's a stellar movie, I must admit. It arrived exactly on time, as promised, March 4th, 2022. And man, it was such a great time. I liked it a lot, and I'm looking forward for Minecraft Movie 2. I'll let you Boogaloo. Return, the Ender Dragon Strikes Back. I'm very much looking forward to it. There's a Minecraft movie? Oh, you are not in on the meme, I see. I see you have not become privy to the meme that is the Minecraft movie. If anyone would like to let him into the meme, you are more than welcome to. Otherwise, I can do it, but you know, if someone would like to enlighten him, that is totally up to you. Still in chat, not in the game. Yeah, I see you're still in chat, but I think your Switch battery ran out. I wasn't sure if you were referring to the battery for your phone or iPad or whatever you're watching the stream on, or if you're referring to the Switch. But thankfully, I'm playing in docked mode, so I need not concern myself with battery. Yes, unfortunately, your battery ran out at an inopportune time. Give me all the mushrooms. Out of context quotes with me, I suppose. Don't have the sign. Yeah. Minecraft movie. I think some people might need an update on what's going on with the meme. They think we might need to provide some context. Remember the part in the movie where Paul Jesse showed up with KFC for Alex? Yeah, that was my favorite part. Right after Josh Cooley was revealed to be the face of the Ender Dragon. That was my favorite part. It's a meme. Yeah, so for those who don't know, the Minecraft movie was confirmed like 3 years ago or whatever with a release date of March 4th, 2022. So everyone was like, oh, it's the Minecraft movie day, and then it wasn't actually confirmed. It was kind of like the Dragon's Den movie. It was supposed to come out June 25th of 2021, and then it just didn't. So it's kind of a similar thing here. Anyway, Minecraft movie was announced a while ago and supposed to come out today or yesterday. I think it was supposed to come out yesterday? Yeah, I think, because it would make sense, because yesterday was a Friday, so I'm pretty sure yesterday was the day it was supposed to come out. We should make an out-of-context compilation for this channel. That sounds like a nightmare to make. I mean, you'd have the one I just said, but what else could you... I'm trying to think what else, off the top of my head, what else could you come up with that would work as an out-of-context quote? I'm not sure. Did I see the video Guionic posted in Discord? If you're referring to the one that says Game Magic 13 Exposed, I saw that back in January when it was first made. I think I commented on it as well. If it's a different one, then I don't know what you're referring to, but I'm pretty sure it's that one. I'm not sure, though. And this is going to be the final race for today, and then we'll call it off. Minecraft movie, does it even have a story meaningful enough to make a movie? Well, the existence of Minecraft story mode proves that you can tell a story in Minecraft. You just have to... In fact, it might honestly be easier, because if you're trying to make a movie based on, like, Sonic or something, or worse yet, make a movie based on a game with really deep, enriching lore, that sounds like a lot harder, because you have to account for... Like, for instance, if you have to make a TV show based on, I don't know, Halo, for instance, you have a lot of pre-existing story and characters and lore that you have to adhere to, that if you do, it can be a nightmare in terms of translating a game story to a TV, and if you don't, and you don't even try, then you're going to get a lot of diehard Halo fans, myself included, really pissed off at you. So, whereas with something like Minecraft, there's such little narrative context to what you actually do in the game that you basically have unlimited grounds for storytelling. You can be as creative as possible with what you actually what the movie's actually going to be about. So it might be easier to write a story for that than it would be to write for a Halo TV show or a movie. But I don't know. Now, having said that, to be clear, there isn't actually a Minecraft movie that's out right now. I love Toy Story 4. Yeah, that work as an out-of-context quote. I'm just trying to think of what else you can find. I mean, I'm sure if you dig through the videos, you'll find some stuff, but nothing immediately comes to mind that would work as like a really, really declarative. I'm really racking my brain because I feel like there's probably some stuff. Nah, I got nothing. I keep trying to think of stuff, but I keep just coming up short. So who knows? It's a red shell at an inopportune time. You never watched Dreams Content, but you know he gets a lot of hate. Well, that's because he faked a speedrun. Well, that and just generally speaking, I'm not really a fan of the whole MC YouTuber community in general. So, you know, take that for what it is. So glad they didn't make the YouTuber chapter in story mode nowadays, because you really don't want to see... Oh yeah, no. It's good that they made it when it did, because I actually like everyone there. Well, I haven't seen any of LD Shadowlitty's content, but I at least, you know, she seemed fine from what little I know about her. But I like everyone. I like Stampy, Stacy Plays, Diamond Minecart, Captain Sparkles. I like everyone they called in. But if they made that nowadays, I don't even want to get into what we'd see. Captain Sparkles might still be there, because I think he is still keeping up with Minecraft content. And even Stampy, I think, is still doing Minecraft videos, but he's nowhere near as big as he used to be. Which I'm sure he's fine with, because I'm pretty sure he's made his living for the rest. I think he can live off what he's made based on his earlier videos for pretty much the rest of his life, but, you know. You faked a speedrun? Yes. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. That was fun. that was the perfect palate cleanser that I needed after this nightmare of a week. So, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for joining. If this is your first day, you got the chance to play. I'm glad you were. Glad you were able to make it. Hopefully, you had a good time, because I certainly did. I enjoyed playing this game with all of you, and I'm looking forward to doing it again when the booster pass comes out. For future streams, I am gonna stream tomorrow. I'm gonna stream a game that I've played as a kid, but I've never beaten, because from what I hear, it's really hard. I can never get past... Well, if I say what level, it's gonna give it away. I can never get past a certain level in the game, but I'm gonna try to beat it again tomorrow. It's a short game, probably 2 to 3 hours, with using the rewind feature, and I'm hoping to have a good time. Hopefully you all enjoyed as well, so... Thanks for streaming tomorrow. Yeah, the stream's not public yet, because I don't want to reveal what it is. But after I end the stream today, I'm gonna post a public page for what game I'm gonna stream, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Thank you to everyone who showed up to play alongside with me. This is a lot of fun. Exactly what I had a lot of fun today. I was looking forward to it, and it did not disappoint. So thank you all for tuning in, for watching the stream, whether you were in the game or just in chat. I appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you for being here today. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day, and hope to see you all tomorrow for the start of a brand new stream. Have a good day, everybody.